Welcome to Project Metaverse. I'm James Durham, and I'll be your host and GM tonight. Joining me at the table is Luke Amundsen, Helen Roundhill, and Jess Weaver. Not lurking about somewhere inconspicuously absent is Christian Doyle and Mark, but we hope you get better soon, Christian, and we hope that you'll join us next week, Mark. Miss you guys.
Miss you.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Bye.
I have the other Mark back behind computers, and he's really doing everything back there for us. Everyone, thank you to Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
What is Project Metaverse? Project Metaverse is the story of unlikely heroes, forced into dire circumstances, doing what is necessary to save the Metaverse with the guidance and assistance of the mysterious entity known as Tom. Project Metaverse, like all of our Zoe shows, is completely funded and supported by fans like you. Visit our Patreon page now to find out how you can support this show and other great programming like it. Like DFA, it's back in January. I might even show up. You never know.
What?
We've got Masters of the Metaverse coming back in February. And, well, next Monday will be the finale of this arc of Project Metaverse. It's coming back in March also, and we have a Metaverse holiday special coming up this month.
Yay.
That's right. And there's, of course, Strowlers, Journey Quest. We've got all the content. Watch it all. Tell your friends. Tell your friends' friends. Tell your mom's friends. Tell everyone. Tell people that don't want to know. Carry a sign. Wear a sandwich sign. It all helps. Believe me. And speaking of Patreon, our poll results are in.
Oh boy.
And for today's session,
yeah.
Helen, you will receive +7 to 1 roll.
Okay.
And +10 hit points.
Yeah. I needed those.
I need those.
Jess, you will receive +10 to 1 roll, +3 to 1 roll, and +30 hit points.
Whoa! Awesome. Thanks.
Apparently
Luke,
people want me
+5
die
to a
less than they
roll
want me
and
to die.
+20 hit points.
That's fun.
And I get +7 to a roll and +50 hit points to one of my monsters.
Boo.
Wow. Rude.
See, if we were playing the drinking game, they already would have started.
There you go. Whee!
I would also take a moment to thank some of our subscribers by name. Jeff Parrish, thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Brad Gabriel, thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Brad.
Brad.
Marcus Johansson, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Marcus.
Marcus.
And of course, we have the store. Yes, the store. The store is great. There's Rule of Cool. There's meta points. There's buffs. There's loot
buffs.
boxes. And then, you know, the piece de resistance, the hack attack. If you really want to just try and throw curveballs my way or their way, or you just really want something in the story, there's always room for it. We use the tri-stat system, so rolling low is very, very important. And now,
Roll low.
for a few special words from our good friend, Tom.
15% more attractive.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
it's
The
a
Hawaiian
shirt.
shirt does that, you know?
Where's your puka shells?
I would like to start by telling you all the point totals for this current episode.
Let's hear it, Tom.
Our current standings are 68,788 points for Chat,
Ugh.
40,705 points for Brony Robbins, 44,250 points for Andy James, 39,975 points for Wyatt Maxwell, 43,225 points for Maddox McFernan, and 75,000 points for Tom.
Ding, ding, ding.
And now for Chat's information drop. I apologize, I was unable to give you this information last week. I was indisposed. Our information today concerns the entity known as Heinrich. Not familiar with any of you, I apologize. So,
Yeah.
this might be quite boring to you. For those of you watching at home, Heinrich is 36 years old. He has no relatives or family of any kind and never has.
I could relate.
Director Heinrich is in charge of one of the factions of the recently split agency known as The Program. Bruno and Nick attempted to kill Heinrich and failed. The end result of that failure is what you saw in the Season 3 finale of Masters of the Metaverse. Heinrich has been to the Sentinel City Metaverse. And Heinrich has an obsessive hatred of Crash Jackson. That's all we have. Hope you enjoy the show.
Sounds like he and Brony would get along famously.
Previously on Project Metaverse, our group of heroes were recruited to take part in a new virtual reality gaming beta test. Things turned out to be much more than they seemed after they were joined by the entity Tom. Learning that the metaverses were in fact real places, our pilots changed the course of history in Sentinel City and helped and helped bring about the ubiquitous dome. During these events, Andy James left her Metapod and escaped the Project Metaverse facility. Later, after a period of lockdown and cloak and dagger activities, Maddox, Brony, and Wyatt entered a secret, hidden sub-basement level of the Project Metaverse complex, while some form of battle raged outside of this facility. Using some old Metapods located in the secret basement, they entered the world of the Weird West, where, joined by Andy James, they were sent on a mission from Tom: save the Metaverse. Following a wild adventure through free Texas, our heroes confronted a host of werewolves and General Custer within the basement of the Alamo, a place of great power and mystery. The heroic deaths and actions of their avatars came together to create a world-changing moment. And in that moment, our pilots were cast through the Metaverse to a strange, not Metaverse, called Toyland. A mysterious realm of hidden dangers and fear. Our pilots were sent into the avatars of 12-year-old children, Bobby, Angel, and Lizzie. With great difficulty and outside assistance from chat, Tom was able to finally reach and assist them in evading the dangers set before them by the dark and fearsome entity behind this realm. And now, Project Metaverse. You find yourselves in a dark and foreboding scene. Some kind of vast warehouse or building. It's too hard to say. You feel different. Looking down, you can see yourselves, your true selves, ghostly and insubstantial, your calves and feet fading into ever-changing and shifting wisps of white. Before you in the dark hall are stacks upon stacks of opaque boxes, each with its own contents, stretching back beyond sight in the vastness. Thick tendril-like coils lie in bundles across the floor, stretching to the darkness of the ceiling and along the walls. They spider out like infinite fingers amid the open spaces between the boxes, connecting to each one. Inside each is a horror of its own. All contain young children and teenagers, mostly simply staring and slack-jawed, as things of their darkest nightmares occur around them. In the forefront, nearest to you, are three containing Lizzie, Angel, and Bobby. Each tormented by their darkest fears. Angel wails in the corner of her tiny prison, crawling insects and spiders covering her in the walls of her own private nightmare. Lizzie claws at the ceiling of her cell, mouth scarcely above the water filling it, gasping for air. Bobby clings to a single handhold, his eyes in terror for whatever horror only he can see, knuckles white and jaw clenched. You can feel their fear, somehow in the pit of your stomach. A slow, scraping noise grows from the darkness. Something is coming. A disturbingly tall and thin being approaches. Its legs obscenely long and thin, its strides several meters in length as it comes. Man-like, clothed in vaguely formal, ragged black attire, it bears a top hat upon its head. Its only exposed skin, the hands and face, a sickeningly pale white, the nails on its fingers long, yellow, and wicked, hollow openings yawning into hypnotic oblivion for eyes. It leers wickedly as it passes the three terrified children. Now this is unexpected. Perhaps a bonus? Or merely a complication? And that other one, I don't like that. No, I do not. It steps closer, its impossibly tall and narrow torso leaning in. But I suppose I haven't had any company in quite some time. Allow me to give you the grand tour. This is my masterpiece. My life's work, really. Such a wonder to behold, and an absolute joy to work with. I am so fortunate, truly. Welcome to my larder. You've already met my newest additions to the menu. So delectable. These others, they're so worn out and tasteless. It's a tragedy. Truly, how fragile the little minds are.
Ill started. There will most likely need it. #cool rule.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you.
Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
It's truly an art form, you see. Oh, how wonderful it is. So many frightened little creatures, alone and ripe for the plucking. At first, I was greedy. I didn't understand, you see. I simply devoured. A glutton, truly. I am mortified by my past uncivilized behavior. It's taken me ages to perfect it, really. Such a delicate little process. A little seasoning here and there. A quick sear, just the right touch of hope. And then... a feast. Oh, but I'm being such a terrible host. Where are my manners? My name. Oh yeah, my name, if I had a name, would be Harvester. And what strange little beings are you? What secrets do you hold? What flavors hide in those little shells of yours? Awfully quiet.
Hashtag cool rule.
I have a question. Are you likely to, steal our souls if we tell you our names?
What, pray tell, is a soul?
Presumably the sort of thing that you like to feed on, made of hope and the permanence of being.
Sounds delightful.
Great. Sorry, guys.
I'm saying that's a no on the name sharing.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
What manner of creature are you?
Creature?
Riding along with little children like that. How do you do that?
That's a great question.
It's technical.
One can never have enough hashtag meta point.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chad.
Chad.
Thank you, Chad. I get the impression that even if we did know how we did that or how to explain it, explaining that to this thing would be a bad idea. He's already clearly, fucked 8 ways to Sunday.
I believe that is the medical term, yes.
Yes. If we explained how we do what we do.
A moment ago, we passed a room, and there were people, and they seemed to be living, except we saw through some of our tools and devices that they were being controlled. You could say we're on the same plane as that.
Interesting. And
Yeah?
so, the floral shirt fellow, he controls you then?
You've seen him. Where did you see the floral shirt fellow?
I don't like him.
Why not?
That doesn't concern you, little one.
Oh, I'm very concerned.
Yeah, me too, especially because we haven't been able to see him. Do you know where he is right now?
Perhaps.
So, if you had to boil it down,
Don't give him ideas.
what would you say you do here?
I eat.
You eat. You eat.
I think he eats fear,
Yeah, what do you eat?
terror, despair.
All of the lovely little flavors that come from their little shells.
Okay.
People. Okay, cool. He eats people.
He eats the flavors of their shells.
Are they like M&Ms? Are people like M&Ms?
I know, all right? A Tootsie Roll. 1. A 2.
A 3?
A 3.
Like this blow pop?
So, man, I am for a...
It's at that moment, at your feet, you see the bobblehead figure of Tom.
Oh, thank God.
And instead of having the smiling look he has this very arms crossed, stern look, and looking right up at the fellow in the hat. And at that moment, he shrieks, withdraws backwards, and disappears into the dark. And at that moment, everything shatters like a broken glass mirror in front of you.
Oh.
You wake up.
If I am getting impaled on glass again, I'm
And as we
very
wake
upset.
up, we're going to go ahead and start by waking up with a system shock to find out where you are on the
Okay.
spectrum. For those of you watching at home, that was a nightmare.
What just happened?
So let's go ahead and put you one step closer to Avatar.
Okay.
Let's put you one away from Pilot.
Mhm.
And let's put you full Pilot. Your clothes are still covered in dirt, dried cement, sewage, gore, and worse than the horrors of before. Your stomachs are growling and empty. You're thirsty. And the Tom bobblehead is repeatedly saying, "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!"
Thank you, Tom.
Lizzie is being pulled up above you, wrapped in thick webbing like spiders. Stretches up to a creature, spider-like, but with the head and face of that man with the hat. Immense, maybe 20 feet in diameter. It's slowly pulling a bound-up Lizzie with its web.
Don't like that.
Initiative, please.
Right.
With 8s or?
Well, for you, you're
10.
going to be using 10s.
Yeah, okay.
Well, shit.
Did I do the right ones?
And then add your ACV, and if you have an initiative bonus, add that as well.
$16.
16,
23.
23.
21.
So, that creepy guy sucks. He also wasn't expecting you. Which means he didn't bring you here, but he did bring the children. Why then? Also, don't get dead. Hashtag Wyatt buff, hashtag buff, hashtag mad as fuck.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
We tried not to get dead.
All right, I will lead with the 24.
Of course.
Not the time to roll low.
Not the time to roll low at all. No, of course not. I will continue to pull Lizzie up on the webbing, and he opens his ugly face, and his teeth are long and pointed, not like
Are they
man's
also
teeth.
yellow?
Pardon?
Are they also yellow?
Oh, very.
God damn it.
Horrifically so.
Why do you have to corrupt my favorite color?
I'm a corruption. But that's it. I am corruption. I'm the living embodiment of it.
It's true.
You spin a web of lies.
When I'm being paid to.
No.
It continues to reel you up while spitting a horrible green-looking glob. Mucus, toxin, venom, spit. You're not
Acid.
sure, but it's coming right at you.
Ugh.
And is nowhere near you. In fact, it's not even in your general direction. It's somewhere over there.
What happens when it hits?
It kind of steams a little.
Great, acid.
Oh,
Acid.
wonderful.
Cool.
And Lizzie is reeled up closer and closer and closer to the gigantic spider creature. I have a 23 next. Wyatt, that will be you.
I am going to burn some meta points to
All right.
get back on the Bobby side of things. I'm going to use all 3 of them.
Using all 3 meta points.
We could use some more meta points.
Sorry, but Wyatt was not going to be of much use there. As Bobby, I'm gonna take out my gun and aim for the webbing itself.
Yes, please.
Give me a shooting test.
Yes.
Bobby has figured out how his rifle works.
Made it by 6.
Made it by 6. You hit the webbing, it catches on fire and snaps very quickly, and Lizzie begins to plummet towards the ground.
Oh,
Oh, I'm in the air. Thought I was being dragged on the ground.
it's above you.
When?
Lizzie, you're plummeting towards the ground. What do you do?
Yeah.
Wave your arms like a bird.
Yeah, right? What's below me? What's on the ground below me?
The form of like the bottom of a roller coaster track, like the steel girder parts.
Tracks!
The track. Well, the tracks themselves are up above. It's like the framework of it.
Oh, yeah, that hurts. Okay.
And grass, and these two.
Yeah, below. Okay.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay.
I'm going to, okay, well, you know, I feel like I've had quick getaways before, so I'm inside the web, right? Okay, so I'm gonna take those rusty shears that I got from the clown that I murdered, I'm sorry. Those rusty shears, and I'm gonna like puncture them and rip so I can kind of get my arm out of this cocoon of, what'd you say?
Webbing.
Webbing of like lies and sadness, to try and maybe grab one of those bars as I fall down so I'm falling past bars, the grids,
Absolutely.
right? Okay.
What are you going to do to use that? Tell me what skill you think was useful, and if not, tell me what you think would apply.
Stealth or athletics?
Lizzie tries to steal everything, so
Uh-huh.
try to steal a bar.
Try and steal a bar?
Yeah, try to steal one of the girding.
Oh, yeah, that's 16. I was gonna say stealth is 16 too.
Oh, never mind.
They're both got the same.
Which one?
Stealth.
Oh, stealth or okay. That might be. What else do you have in there that you might think might work for that?
Ooh.
Nothing? You can't think of how to use any of those skills or tricks of yours at all? In any way they might, even outside of the box, be able to apply?
I still say burglary.
It's a good choice.
Okay.
Larceny is always not.
Arson. And arson.
Steal your life from the jaws of death.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You might be able to use your burglary. You've got some experience climbing in and out of windows. It might help you with trying to grab onto the side of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Oh, frame of a roller coaster.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, give me
Parkour shit.
I want you to give me a fighting test first to cut through
Okay.
the webbing.
Oh boy, of course I lost by 2.
Well, you have a 10 and a 3. You can.
Yes, I
check.
do. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that 3 to
All right,
make sure that.
so you can cut through the webbing now. Give
Okay.
me a burglary check to see if you
Okay.
can grab onto the side of the roller coaster framework.
I believe in you.
Otherwise, it is going to hurt.
9. Oh god. 15. Oh, 15. Oh my god, I beat it by 1.
Catching with just the tips of your fingers. You swing in, impacting hard, bruising yourself, but not enough to do any significant real damage.
Yeah.
Angel, Lizzie is free. Bobby somehow turned his rifle into a flamethrower,
Which is cool.
and it's a gigantic spider.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Couple of thoughts. I have a blanket, right? Like, that's a thing that I have, but I am on the Andy side of things, which means I'm fast. So I feel like between us, we need to stretch this blanket to, like, tie it to the framework, stretch the blanket so that Lizzie can drop safely into it.
Parachute. Trampoline.
You could quite easily do that with your enhanced speed from your Andy James.
Yeah, that's what I'm
50
thinking.
miles per hour.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. So we're gonna do that.
All right, you set up a landing pad for Lizzie, and we cut back to the top of the order. And the creature moves down just a little bit on the framework, cocks its head back, and spews another glob of green goop right at you. And fortune is just not with him in his spitting today.
He's probably a White Sox fan.
Yeah.
Well done.
I don't understand sports jokes.
Bobby, he has missed you, but he seems to be getting ready to get another one of those giant balls of phlegm ready. What do you do?
I'm gonna go back to that other one I liked so much.
All right, well, give me 3 shooting tests.
Beat it by 1.
I need some meta points. Chad, I need some meta points.
Please.
Beat it by 8. Beat it by 1.
All right, and what is the damage listed on that rifle?
It is listed at 30.
30, all right.
I
Your
want my
repeated
magic.
firing of shots manages to, on the 3rd shot, finally penetrate the thick carapace of the spider. And green, ugly blood spouts from the wound, and he lets out a horrid shriek from his tiny little head.
Somehow that's so much more disquieting.
It is. It is, isn't it? Lizzie, you're hanging on to the framework, but it looks like they've set up... She moved so fast.
Yeah,
You've never seen anyone move that fast before. It was amazing.
that was amazing.
She seems to be ready to for you to drop right onto that blanket.
God, mad respect. What's the spider doing though?
It shrieked very loudly after he repeatedly shot it. It seems to be like, getting a nice big ball of phlegm going.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And it has man. Is it retreating or is it staying there?
It moved a little, but not much.
Okay, how many eyes does it still have?
Well, where it should have all the eyes and like spider features,
Yeah.
it's just a very normal-sized head of that top-hatted gentleman with his.
But it still has like 8 eyes.
Well, he only has his 2 really weird
just
eyes.
2?
It's like they took a spider and thought, I'm gonna stick his head on it,
Okay.
and now I'm gonna make it huge.
Okay.
Like that creepy fucking thing from Toy Story.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the head doll.
Yeah,
You getting me?
That mixed with the Babadook kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Some Slender Man in there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can you continue to name things I haven't seen? And no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
Hashtag Metacoin.
Thank
Yes!
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat.
We only have 1 though, right?
No,
We
there
only
are
have
5 on the
5
board.
meta
We
currently.
have
points.
5. Oh, super.
In
Okay.
addition, you all have a buff, and there is a rule of cool floating. I'm going to be using that later.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, I'm going to use one of those to go avatar, and before I just let go, I'm gonna take one of my darts and get him right in the eye.
All right.
Yeah.
Give me a throwing test.
Okay. Shooting.
Throwing or shooting, whichever you
Yeah.
have.
Okay. Oh man. Whew, beat it by 1. I need some luck in these things. Where
By
are
one,
you?
but because it is a called shot, it is not enough to hit the eye. It still
Oh.
hits him in his ugly, pale-skinned face, and the dart doesn't really seem to do anything when it hits. It just falls away. Just not enough of an impact, not a sharp enough or dangerous enough object. Seemed to be pretty resistant to it. When Bobby was shooting him, it took several of those shots for it to actually break through the shell on the creature.
Okay, well, that's a clue.
Are you going to drop down to the awaiting landing pad below or stay hanging on?
No, I'm letting go.
All right, you fall
Yeah.
and hit the blanket and are caught beautifully.
Okay.
She's really, really strong for her size.
I
And
know.
super cute.
Really strong. Like
Yeah.
her arms don't even budge when you hit the blanket. It
Yeah.
shouldn't happen.
So I fall down and I look at you and I'm like, you annoy me, you before, but you just did me a solid and I kind of have a little bit more respect for you.
You just rescued Lizzie. She's on the blanket in front of you. What do you do?
Well, first off, I'm gonna burn up some meta points here so I can use some magic.
Magic.
I would like, at this point, for to try to attract the attention of this really
In order to
nasty
do that, I'm
creature.
going to need you to pass a
but-
fear check.
I can pass a fear check. I can do that. I'm not scared. But I have more to do after that. So, okay.
Start with that. Let's
I mean,
pass
I am
that
kind
fear
of scared.
check.
This is,
It is something you are very
Yeah,
deathly
I know.
afraid of.
But he's got a human face, and somehow it makes it easier to kill him.
Does it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pass that by 6.
Excellent.
Um,
Despite being afraid, you keep it together.
and at that point, I am going to use my magic and say, "I am a mirror. You are glue. Anything you spit at me will stick to you."
Nicely done. Give me a magic test.
I would love to do that. Yep, and I'm gonna beat that by 5.
Beat it by 5. I'm going to record that up here. You have beat that by 5. Gives us to the top of the order, and he's going to test that magic of yours. And It is a success, but it doesn't succeed by more than 5, so that goes right back to him.
Yes!
It's beautiful.
Take that!
Splattering across the face, the legs go a little limp, and he just seems really tired.
Did he get high off of his own blood and spit?
Shakes his head
Oh, no.
and shrinks ever so tiny, disappearing in the cracks of the
Oh.
roller coaster, scurrying away.
Oh, now we can't see him? Well,
Now he's a normal-sized spider?
no, this is where I start to worry.
Because
I can't.
I feel like
can't
the bigger
see
the
him.
spider, the better, because you can see
Well,
him right
because I can
away.
see him and he's a big target, but now he could be crawling up my leg and I would never know.
And plus, venom is more concentrated in the babies.
Wait, what? No, don't tell me that.
Well, it's scorpions, and they're all like that. They're born with everything.
Are you okay?
No! Where have you been?
I have been indisposed. Something is trying to keep me out.
Something or someone?
I have not determined this yet.
I think it's a someone.
Did you see him?
Both terms could equally apply.
He saw you.
I am aware.
Okay. Did
You
you?
shouldn't be able to do that.
This is correct.
Nothing has been able to see you
This
before.
is quite disturbing.
Yes.
I don't like it.
This is quite disturbing.
I need time to formulate a plan and analyze the situation further. I suggest you keep moving.
Where?
Find a way to continuously remain in motion as long as possible.
Jumping jacks it is then.
Motion. How do we get out?
I am determining that, but by remaining in motion, you will make it more difficult for him to surprise you like this.
Okay.
Can we use the tracks?
I believe
Although
that there
they
is
were
some
built
form of
by
vehicle.
him, so I don't
We'll
know if
traverse
that's
them.
necessarily
Tom,
the best
what
It
idea.
is highly
in the whole
recommended
world.
that you do take the tracks. They will keep you moving.
Where's Brony?
I do not know at this time. Brony is not online.
What else?
He has not been online since we left Free Texas.
Do you
Is he
know
alive?
anything else about this place?
I do not know.
Oh. Is he in a better place than this?
I would assume that any place was better than this. This is a place that should not exist. It is not a metaverse. There is something very wrong here.
Then how did we get here?
I am trying to determine that.
Is it on the
Who
same
are
network?
these kids? Who are these kids?
I do not know. None of these events should be happening.
Nevertheless, they are, so we should probably...
The current events are directly contradictory to what was accomplished in Free Texas.
Have you ever run into any other spaces like this that isn't a metaverse as part of the metaverse?
The white room that I pull you into. They function in a similar nature.
Huh.
So from what we saw earlier, presumably, we were our pilots, and we were in the dark version, his version of what is essentially a metaverse, where instead of, I guess, he sticks kids in, and they imagine things, and he gets fed somehow off of that. Is that the way that the metaverse works for us as well as pilots?
Wait,
We get
no, it's just the top, bullhead. #habitat.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat.
Tobblehead is still amazing.
Tobblehead.
I am still formulating at this time. I do not have all of the relevant data.
Rude.
When that nightmare thing saw you, did you guys talk?
No.
So he just saw you and that was it? Did he have you? Did he ask you what you taste like?
I have not spoken with him.
He can see. Okay. Well, what do you taste like?
I don't know.
I don't know, I'm out of questions. I don't...
Ones and O's.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
binary cereal.
There you go. I don't know. So keep moving. That's the
Keep
only
moving
advice
until
I
I
have for
can
us.
find something more useful. I am afraid I do not have enough information at this time. And analyzing and acquiring data here is difficult.
So we've already seen there's something weird going on here. My wooden gun fires, manifests whatever sort of weapon I'm thinking of.
I have magic, but I'm not questioning that. I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh no, it's awesome. Is that something that you have any information about?
None of these things should be happening. All of these current events are contradictory to what I know of the function of the metaverse.
Are we in a virus? Is this a glitch in the system?
I do not have answers for you.
What if you
Fine.
unplugged me right now?
I do not know
Turn
what
it
that
off
would
and
do.
start it again.
Restart.
I would highly discourage it. I do not know what would happen.
Do you know what any of our tools do? Like the mirrors? The mirrors we find.
It appeared to be useful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and loot boxes function here.
And loot
Yeah.
boxes, yeah.
Why would loot boxes function?
They have been strange.
Are they real loot boxes?
They seem to be pulled from very, very specific time periods.
Is there a Wendy in here?
I do not believe there are any other entities in here.
Okay.
What about the people that were being puppeted? Are they not people?
I do not know. I do not believe they are. Or if they were, they are not anymore.
Well, friends, are we going to walk or are we going to ride?
I hate to say it, but I think riding is going to be our best option at this point. I mean,
Stay together.
that seems to
trust
be the
in
only
each
thing
other.
that comes.
Keep moving. I will find you when I have more information. Be strong. You can survive. You must. The roller coaster is less of a roller coaster and more of a miniature train.
Choo-choo!
The cars are all about 14 feet long, small versions of real old-style passenger train cars. Except the seats have roller coaster type seats with restraint belts in them to lock down upon. There's 4 passenger cars, an engine car, and you could call it a caboose, but really it's just more of a box car on the end. It sits unmoving on the tracks.
Look around, is there a lever or anything to...
Oh, yes, one single lever. Looks like really simple in the front of the car. And like
Is
conductors,
it coal powered?
there's the steam pipe and everything, but there's no burning furnace. There's no boiler. But it looks like a steam engine. That's all the looks.
Yeah. Is there a conductor cap?
No, there is not a conductor cap.
Bummer.
Can I fuel it with my rage?
I'd say yes. But what do I know?
I say let's pull the lever. Are we in?
Yeah.
The lever worked last time with the...
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that slowly.
Okay, I know. I'm not... Last time it was more urgent, okay? There was the sewer squid, and he was like...
Oh no, I remember the squid. It was terrible all around. I'm just saying. Slowly.
Okay, so...
Easing the lever forward, it
Uh-huh.
starts to go, and it's just like a train. Really slowly starts to build up, and easing it forward.
I
You
would
get-
like
you get
to
going
know
to about
if there is a dining car.
making your way backwards through
No.
the train. It reaches about 10 miles an hour when you have it about halfway.
Okay.
You're going just a little faster than walking speed.
Okay.
It's kind of just going. The rear
Well,
car is
people
the only
really
car that has
don't
any
want more than
differences
3
besides
miles
the
an hour.
engine car. Those are just passenger cars. They're a lovely shape with the faux windows on the outside. They really look like passenger cars, and then just have benches with the little lockdown thing in the middle of them. The rear car is basically a box with a single door leading into it, fully enclosed. Inside there are bunk beds, a closet. Other than that, it's empty.
Okay, I want to look in the closet.
Inside the closet, carved into the door, is a series of 22 hash marks,
Oh,
No.
Jesus.
along with a very crudely drawn-in map. It shows parts of the park that you've already been to, and indicates that this train goes to some place called Candy Town. On the drawing, beyond Candy Town, there is shown a very tall tower with a question mark scratched in at the top. In the base of the closet is a bag of marbles, an old-style quill and ink, and a Yoda figurine together, along with carved names: Mikey, Sarah, Jonathan.
Okay, well, I'm
No.
taking those things. The quill, the marbles, the Yoda, putting them in my satchel. I got them now.
This Quill, Yoda, and what?
Bag of marbles.
Marbles.
Well,
You
at
really
least
do
know where I
lose
lost
these
them.
marbles. I lost my marbles.
Insert hook reference. So we saw the balloons were different colors than we thought they were when we looked at them in the mirror.
Black.
Can we try the same thing with these?
Absolutely.
Oh.
And frankly, ourselves?
Everything? Ooh.
Okay. Well,
What do you start with?
Yoda.
Looks like
Good
Yoda.
call.
Reflects perfectly. No real difference. But as
Does
you're
the
looking
speech
in the
pattern
reflection,
change?
it's a figurine.
I'm just saying, if Yoda is speaking into a mirror, do the sentences come out
It's
in the
a
right order?
figurine. It's not
No,
speaking.
okay. Well, I'm just
It's a
curious. It's a
figurine,
what
it's
if.
not
It's a
speaking.
what if.
It's a figurine. It's not speaking. It's carved from plastic.
You
don't
ain't.
worry. It'll probably come to life eventually. That's.
But
Speaking,
in the
it is
mirror,
not.
holding it, as you can see, reflecting like the side of the car reflects decrepit and old. Like everything in this car in the mirror looks old and run down, except for that Yoda figurine that you're holding, and the bag of marbles, also pristine. And those names and hash marks carved in, those are carved in just the same. The wood fades and looks older in the mirror, but the carvings themselves don't change.
Can you take the mirror and just do a quick 360 to see if everything is?
You
At the
turn and
full
look
train?
at Bobby.
Bobby.
You see yourself in the mirror. There's
Bobby.
a
Bobby,
man
Bobby,
standing
Bobby.
behind you or part of you. It's hard to say. It's kind of wispy and ghost-like. Wyatt within you recognizes him as yourself.
Okay, so I'm driving. That's, I guess, good to know.
You're driving,
Eh,
you guy.
It's, you know, when we met the Harvester and we were sort of
Separate.
floating around ghost-like?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like behind Bobby. Me,
Yeah.
ghosty.
Let me see.
For you two, you have an entirely different interpretation of that dream. You were inside those cells. You were both in full avatar. Lizzie was in her cell. Angel was in her cell. Andy and Maddox have a different perspective. But you just had a dream of suffocating and drowning all night, and you were
Yeah.
covered in bugs. You have no idea what he's referencing to when he talks about wispy forms. Or the dream. No idea at all.
Let me see me. Let me see me.
There's a ghostly form of a woman behind you. Or in you, or a part of you, or it's hard. She's like right here. But she's not. But then you look in the mirror and she's there. But then she's not.
Okay, real quick, I go like this.
Nothing.
Give me that mirror. Look at this.
For you, you see another very young woman, very pretty.
Do you see
Same
that?
thing.
I do see that. I do.
That-
If that's
that
the
person
future. It
behind
looks.
you?
I don't know. That's uncomfortable.
So, wait a minute. Are you telling me that neither of you is seeing you behind you? It's somebody
Me
else?
behind me. There's a stranger behind me.
Okay, so from my perspective, when I was dreaming, the fancy guy whose little head was on top of that giant spider, he was talking to us and telling us all sorts of crazy stuff about how he's eating the...
I didn't sleep at all last night. There were bugs all around me.
Yeah, okay, but see, I think you did sleep, but you didn't know it. Same way you were asleep, that's why the spider was able to grab you when you were out of it. I'm not doing a good job of explaining this. But when I'm looking in the mirror, I see me. I see Wyatt standing
Who is
behind me.
Wyatt?
Wyatt's me, driving Bobby. Just like you have Andy driving Angel.
Andy is a boy's name.
That changes a bit.
Angel, Lizzie, have a hashtag meta point each. It might help.
Oh, thank you, Chad.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Chad.
Chad.
Thank you.
Using one? All right.
Yeah.
You have a little bit better idea of what he's talking about now. One is used. Oh, two are used. All right. You have now a much better idea of what he's talking about. You're still much closer to Lizzie than Maddox, but you have the awareness of Maddox now. You know what he's talking about. And in the mirror, it's what you see as Maddox standing behind you, and you see Andy standing behind you, or part of you. It's behind you is kind of a misnomer. It's as if she was completely flat and
There's
two-dimensional and right here.
There's a ghost on my neck.
But it's Ghost you, so it
It's
could
good.
be worse.
Ghost Andy.
Ghost Andy.
Ghost Andy. Well, it's very rude to pilot somebody without introducing yourself first, is all that I have to say about that. It's almost as if people don't care about decorum anymore.
I would say that is a fair critique. Trust me, where I'm from, not me, Wyatt, decorum has long since been put out to pasture.
I feel like wherever either of you are from, that is true.
Maybe.
The train is not particularly swift. Even at full speed, it tops out at about 20. And any time as it steams along, if it reaches a hill, there is a dramatic reduction in speed. And any incline over about that drops it to about 5, maybe 4. Just really, really struggles.
Should we get out and push?
You would probably walk faster when it's going up hills, but there isn't really anything to walk up when it's going on hills. It's just tracks. Framework below it. Every so often, though it's not a steam engine, the steam engine sounds, the whistle sounds, and steam comes out of the whistle. It's much, much quieter than a traditional train because the steam engine is very, very small. As it steams along, it enters into a dark tunnel. The far, far distant end, you can faintly see light. Plop,
I don't like the dark.
plop,
I don't like that sound.
plop,
Nothing good ever plops.
plop,
Rain?
plop.
Nope.
You hear the pretty solid impact of something on the ceiling or roof of the train car. And again, they just keep happening. Like really heavy rainfall or something. Something sliding along the roof.
Nothing good ever slides.
As the
A lady
tunnel
doesn't
ends
slide.
and you come into the light covering the train. Dozens of them, these little gray
Borks.
blobs.
Oh no.
They have a single eye, and almost the rest of their body is a
consumed.
huge mouth. Like they're made of clay or something, the grayish color. These really long, fingerless tendrils for arms are pulling themselves and grabbing onto things and sliding their way along the train cars, chomping their little mouths and looking hungrily at you.
Why can't they ever eat something like sadness? You know, like I could throw a bunch of sadness at them, I would have less sadness, and then they would be full and I would be happy. Unfortunately, it seems like they all have a hankering for human flesh. I just don't understand.
It is unfortunate.
Thank you, my dear.
Why can't you make nice monsters?
Let's roll initiative.
Oh my gosh!
Uh-oh. That didn't sound good.
No.
26.
26?
Mm-hmm.
26 for Angel.
Mm-hmm.
22.
22 for Bobby. And you seem so disappointed over there. What's Lizzie got?
17.
Lizzie with the 17.
Thank you,
All
Bax.
Angel, you will be first.
Mm-hmm.
Several dozen of these ugly, single-eyed mouths with tendrils. And really simple looking. Like there wasn't a lot of thought put into them.
Well, I believe in communication, so I am going to use my fairy magic to give them the ability to speak so that they can tell me what they want.
Yum, 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 yum,
She immediately made it worse.
Oh, I think they're kind of cute.
Yum, yum, yum.
It's like Cookie Monster.
Cookies!
Mine? Mine?
Mine.
Mine? Mine?
It's like the
Again,
Polar
we
Express of nightmares.
Again, we don't know what they eat because it could be not
Why
us.
don't you ask them? You can talk to them now.
What do you eat?
Yum, 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 yum,
Yeah, there
yum,
you
yum, yum.
Yum, 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 yum,
Yum,
yum,
yum,
yum,
yum,
yum, yum, yum, yum, yum, yum, yum,
Ability to
yum,
speak
yum.
is not commensurate with intelligence.
Me without my meow mix.
Oh, maybe we could turn them into pets. Do we have any food? I have a picnic basket, I think. Is there any food in there?
The last food I had were
Bobby,
elephant ears.
Angel is digging for food in her picnic basket and has just made all of them start saying yum repeatedly over and over again. You're not sure if it's less or more scary.
Nice first move.
Definitely more annoying.
The more noise, if anything.
Most of them are still on the exterior of the car and the other cars, but they are using those weird viney appendages to pull themselves along and get closer and get closer.
Okay. So, though they're still on the outside, like how far away are we
It's on
talking?
both sides of the car and on the roof of the car you're on. They're all over. There's dozens of them. There are some within 10 or 15 feet of you, and some 3
there's-
car lengths away too.
There's no like open windows or anything, right?
Oh, it's all open.
It's all open.
Yeah, it's very. It's
Oh.
a faux passenger train car. There's no
Oh.
glass windows.
Well, I
You
didn't
gotta
know
let
the
kids scream.
windows were faux too. What? That makes it.
It's
delightful.
all faux.
There, it's all faux.
It is all faux.
Faux.
So faux.
That's so faux.
I'm going to aim at some of the closest group making their way to us.
And Bobby makes it a shotgun. Give me a shooting test. Greatest firearm ever made.
Beat it by 2.
Beat it by 2. 3 of the creatures explode upon impact, and they're chunks of clay.
They're chunks of clay, you say?
Splatter everywhere from the impacts.
Did they make
Gross.
lots of little clay yum-yums? Or...
No, it's just like if you destroyed a big lump of Play-Doh.
So there's no more mouth or talking or...
Like certain bits of it have those pieces on
But
it.
they're,
But
no
they're-
longer
they're not
animated?
moving.
Yeah,
they're not still
not-
animated.
Yes.
Yeah, they're very not doing anything but like dripping or oozing from wherever they impacted from.
Okay.
So could we reform them maybe into a creature that serves our purposes?
I don't know, Angel. Let's wait till your turn. Lizzie,
Is it me?
I feel like it should always be my turn.
of course you do, my dear. Of course you do.
Okay. Is there any that are close to me right now?
They are all over the train cars. You could easily get close to any of them or get away from any of them if you want to try to do that.
Get close.
But they are all over the train cars.
Okay.
There are lots of them.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I feel like I have a Walkman. I feel like I could pull a Ghostbusters and maybe like see if music helps. But
That's right, y'all. That was a Ghostbusters 2 reference.
that was Ghostbusters, not even the first one. Ghostbusters 2.
Which still has the best joke of any Ghostbusters.
Which is
Turning on the packs. Do, Ray,
Ray.
Egon.
But I feel like hungry and music isn't gonna. Maybe I could save that. Okay. Yeah. You know what?
What do you have in your Walkman?
I'm gonna guess some. I don't know. Toto or George Michael or like I should. Do I know? Do I? I probably have only
What
one
was Lizzie
tape.
listening to in the 80s?
What was she
Lizzie
listening?
listening to in 1988?
I don't know. I'm asking.
She's a hard girl. What did hell, I guess I'm the only person in the room that was listening to a Walkman.
Help me out here.
I'm with you.
What was she listening to?
Lizzie's listening to Iron Maiden, of course.
Oh, okay. Iron Maiden. I mean, duh. I knew that. I listened to it.
Yes, when I was 2.
I was not even. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my big combat boots and I'm just gonna like stomp on them and see if it has the same impact.
Give me either a fighting test or whatever you think would be relevant to attempting to stomp on one.
I have a really good burglary. Could I try to steal their lives?
No, I'm not gonna. That's not gonna work. Nice job. Nice try. Way to reach way
man,
out there.
These things aren't helping me today. I'm going for it. Okay, fine. Athletics.
That is a perfect skill to use.
Okay. Let's stomp some puddles. Let's go jump some muddy puddles. That's a 00.
That's not a good thing.
What does that mean? What is
That's
wrong
worse
with me
than
today?
Both 10s.
Those are, oh God.
Lizzie lines up
I
for
lost.
a perfect long jump, leaps in the air, and forgets that the train car only has a 7-foot ceiling. The impact is rather loud, and she misses horribly, landing face first right in front of her intended target,
Oh no.
which takes the opportunity to try and bite said face off.
I am just not having, I'm gonna eat more.
Speaking of eating.
The problem was no second dinner yet.
I have all the dinners.
You're barely able to roll your face to the side as the teeth chomp together.
Oh good, thank God.
The long ropey tendrils come in. 2 of them lash onto you, Bobby.
There's tendrils now?
The clay things, they're little tendrily things.
Aww.
And the 2 that do, they use that to pull their bodies along into the car. There are now 4 of the creatures inside the car.
Dear God, Jess, throw the dice away. Maybe at James. Hashtag triple tap.
Can you like use your wand and can you just like bless those guys real quick? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, there you go.
Yep.
Act up!
Gosh!
And several more pull their way on to this car. There are dozens of them on the car you're on now. On all the windows, both the entrance and exit, they've swarmed the whole car. 3 of them are inside with you. We're going back to the top with Angel, and actually we're going to do this backwards because I'm going to use that rule of cool this round. So
Oh,
Lizzie,
geez.
you're going to tell us what you were going to attempt to do first, and the chat's going to vote on it. So Lizzie, what is your ultimate cool thing if you could accomplish anything right now?
Okay.
What would you pull off?
Okay. Okay. Well, what I would do is, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm taking my Walkman out and I'm turning the volume way up and I'm gonna blast some Iron Maiden. And these clay puddles love it. So they all gather together. Every single one of them, they're gonna mob, but they mob into this giant heart. And once they all come together, they realize that the heat kind of like cooks the clay, so it becomes one hard rock heart. Okay? And then I take the big heart, and then I take my black spade plate and say, take that, suckers, on the big stone heart, and then I throw it off the track and I say, yeah, that's what you get. Iron Maiden for life. Please give me one of their song titles.
Oh, I don't know.
And I would start singing it.
I think Running Free is a good one
Running
for that
free.
moment.
I'm like, why did you run this free? And that's my final line as I throw it and it like falls down the tracks and then like explodes on impact. And they can, and as they're falling, they go,
I love it.
I was gonna say, I gotta use words because the dice aren't working.
I don't even know what to call that one, so you guys in chat better come up with a cool name for that one, because that was great. Bobby, what would your ultimate do anything action be?
My ultimate would be essentially, I'm going to try to set up claymores throughout each of the train cars, try and run us all the way up to the engine room, blast off the remaining cars so all of them are left behind. We can skate away in our rapidly 20 miles an hour moving shitty little engine, hopefully faster without that dead weight, and blow them all up on the train behind us.
All right, that is pretty hardcore. You're gonna need a good name for that one. I don't have one either. And finally, Helen, what would Angel
Did I find any food in my basket?
You actually have some crumpets.
I have some crumpets, and I know I have a tea set.
Of course you do. You're the only one with food.
Where has this food been this entire time? I have not offered
In your
to feed
tea set,
anyone.
you have not
How
offered anyone.
rude of me. I just can't believe that I have let it go so far. We must all be very hungry. I'm sure the nightmares will be much less if everyone is well fed.
I know, I get crabby when I'm hungry.
I'm sure they're crabby too.
Yeah, that's
well.
my
In
kid.
that case, I feel like we should all sit down for a proper tea and some actual food that isn't maggots. How does that sound to you? I think it sounds lovely. So I throw my blanket out onto the floor of this car, and I set out my tea set, and I use my powers of high society and my fey magic and all of the things that I have, and I serve a proper tea with crumpets, and I assume clotted cream. You have to have given me clotted cream. Thank you very much. Unbelievable. The people who pack these baskets, sometimes they forget, and it's so unfortunate. And we sit down, and all of my little clay buddies are quite transformed, and suddenly we're all just the best of friends.
Friendship tea!
Friendship
Friendship
tea.
is
Friendship
magic!
All right, chat, it is up to you. You must determine who our winner is. Who shall it be? Hard Rock Heart, Tea Time with Crumpets, or Exploding Train Cars?
Hard rock hard.
I like
It's
it.
delightful.
These are some good names.
Those are good. I think that's part of the fun.
Sometimes I find the naming convention is the hardest part of the rule cool.
Mm-hmm. Packing all that excitement into one phrase or word.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult.
Very.
Yeah.
Well, particularly, I noticed that there's usually at least two that are really multi-levered.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like, we're actually trying to accomplish 6 things within this act.
Yeah, there have been some
But
intense
that's like
ones.
the point of the rule of cool,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. It's
You
awesome.
have to have your beat objectives to get the super objective.
Yeah.
I think Matt Vansel has done some of the best ones I've ever seen. Complete defying physics moments of rule
Oh,
cool.
there you go.
Where it's just like, hey, you did what? Oh, no, I ran all the way back here. I got this. I brought it there. I didn't... That's like a 4-hour... Never mind. It's a rule cool. It doesn't matter.
You know what? On it.
On it. On it.
I mean, if we dare look back, I feel like our opening salvo of Rule of Cools were pretty fucking great.
They were.
You know, we've just gone downhill since, but
Only one way to go. Oh, the poll is closed. The winner is Andy Angel Tea Time with Crumpets. But that means everyone else.
Every single one.
That means that everyone else still has to
I think it's because they
try
let me
to
go
do what
last.
they set out to do, and we are going to start with a hard rock heart.
oh my gosh, it's gonna be a tea time with Iron Maiden playing in the background.
There we go.
Hurry on.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what skills you're going to use to make that happen, so tell me which skill you're going to attempt at -5 to attempt to get them to lovingly listen to those shredding power chords.
To those shredding power chords.
I mean,
No.
particularly if we're talking about running free. I mean, it's before Bruce Dickinson even joined the band. They don't even have an opera singer for a vocalist. They just got a garage band singer.
There's nothing wrong with that. I have a
And
notice.
they wouldn't even be here. They only dream in black and white.
There you go. Can I steal their hearts with some Iron Maiden with my burglar?
Yes.
Burglary to do it. All right,
It
I'll give you the
doesn't-
burglary at -5 to attempt to do it.
Saying, steal their hearts.
Okay, wait,
You can
wait.
attempt to
Dice
steal
be
their
nice.
hearts,
Dice be
however.
nice. Dice be nice.
But
Dice
that's
be
just
nice.
the
Okay.
beginning. So that's just
Okay.
the first roll. You're going to require multiple successes.
Yeah,
to do
well,
this
I
whole
didn't
thing.
get it again. God bless it. Well,
You
lost
do
by.
have a +10 floating around over there.
Do I use it now, though?
Tactically speaking, I would discourage
I-
the use of it in this particular moment.
You wouldn't.
I would discourage the use.
I was gonna say I don't want to use it.
Simply because if the rule of cool is already going to work,
Exactly.
you gain no benefit by making sure that yours works.
So I just lost by 3.
Well, you know, they are very, very much not metal fans. and
Yeah.
all you did was really, really aggravate them.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys were listening to like Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, and that just made them really,
Wow.
really angry.
It just made me really angry.
Can you tune that thing to the classical channel? Can you tune that? Can you tune that to the classical channel?
Bobby,
Or maybe some
how are
soft.
you going to attempt to set all these claymores and get everybody to the engine car?
Yeah, that is a problem.
Smooth jazz. Put on
Um,
smooth jazz.
No.
So I'm. I'm essentially going to try and use the gun to set the timer on each of the claymores as I'm placing them. And I'm just going to yell out to everybody, everybody, follow me. We got to get out of here. We got to get away from these things right now.
We gotta
To the engine.
get out of this place.
So tell me what relevant skill you're going to be testing against at -5 that you feel is appropriate.
Fighting?
Actually, that's a great
I'll say
question.
that's all
Where
right.
did these
Yeah.
claymores come from?
That's a
From
good
my
question.
head
Where did these claymores? They came from Bobby's gun.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby's got a gun.
This wooden carved rifle. Seems to be no real limit to what Bobby's imagination is capable of. Give me that fighting roll.
No.
Oof. Not so hot.
No.
Well, you get the claymore set, and everyone starts to follow you, but they seem to be more following the group because they're enraged at this Iron Maiden music that's playing. And by the time you get to the engine car, they are frothing at the mouth and raging, but then Angel has a blanket laid out, and crumpets and tea sets already set up, and coming in this horde as though they're about to leap on you. Instead, at the last moment, they kind of just form this nice little organized line. And they go
Yum,
all
yum, yum.
the way around the
Yum,
blanket.
yum, yum.
Yep, yum,
Yum,
yum, yum,
yum.
yum, yum, yum. Like military table service, and then they all sit at the same time and await to be served.
Yum, yum, yum.
Of course, then the claymores blow, and now you're stuck in the engine car with the critters and no rest of the train.
Does the train move faster?
No
No,
faster at
okay.
all. It's just a little more cramped. But you are enjoying some tea, and your crumpets don't really stretch that far, but it's the first bites of real food any of you have had in some time.
Yeah, because before it was maggots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone who's damaged recovers 5 health of damage.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, thank you. I'm not
Thank Miss Angel.
for the crumpets.
While you're enjoying your tea, you cross a bridge over a raging river of thick, dark brown liquid. The air smells sickeningly sweet here, like sugar and candy and baked goods.
Oh, it's a chocolate river.
Cresting a hill caked, pun intended, in frosting, you descend into a gingerbread and frosting town, though it has clearly seen better days. Most of the gingerbread houses have collapsed walls and roofs. Some are merely piles of crumbles and frosting. Immense gumdrops and hard candies lie scattered about the ruins. A great pile heaped upon the train's tracks in the center of the gingerbread town blocks any further progress. And the train slowly grinds to a stop, a mound of mashed sugary treats and frosting before it. In the distance beyond the town, you can make out an immense spire, its peak towering overhead.
Lately, I can relate all too well within cooperative dice. So maybe this will help hashtag triple play.
Thank you,
Nice.
Chad.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, what's with these dice? What's with my dice? Anyone want to trade?
No.
I'm standing
You
back.
want to
Thank
trade? You want to trade? No? Yes? No? Okay. Your magic wand didn't work.
You finish your tea, and the gray
a
little
chopstick in
blobs
real life.
wander off into the frosting, making happy yum yum noises as they go. Yum, Never to be seen again.
I have
They're
a question.
adorable monstrosities.
I have a question. Is there any way that maybe as they were going away, we could figure out if all of this candy was poisoned or not? As they're kind of running away.
None of them tries to eat any of the candy at all.
Well, I
There
think
you
that
go.
should be an indication in and of itself.
The crumpets hit the spot, but I don't think they filled them up that much.
They were very, very eager to devour those crumpets.
Hmm.
They look a little different as they're leaving.
Do they look happier?
How do they look different?
Just different. You can't really place it. Something is different about them.
Well, obviously they're well fed, and also now they're our friends. And they probably have names we didn't
They
ask.
just seem more real. It's the only way you can describe it.
Oh. Great.
Like, are their features more defined? Or
They just seem more like they're here. You can't really put it into words. It's the only way you can describe it. They
Huh.
seem more real.
Like 3D as opposed to 2D?
did we ever look at them in the mirror?
No, get the mirror out quick.
Oh,
As they're walking
mm,
away.
mm,
They look like crumpets in your mirror. Each one looks
You
like
are
crumbs
what
of
you
crumpets
You are what you eat.
hobbling away.
Little crumpet worms. I'm just so proud of them. I think we all learned something here today, guys.
Well, wherever they're going, if it's that spider guy, he's probably going to see that they're now crumpets and he's going to know that we fed them.
Well, then he should probably know that they need to be fed.
Lizzie, you get that feeling you get when somebody's watching you.
Yeah,
An itch in the back of your neck.
yeah. Where are we right now? Getting off the train?
Train is stopped in some form of gingerbread looking town.
Mm-hmm.
Frosting everywhere. It's so thick it's like snow.
And the little crumplets are...
At this point out of sight,
Crumpets.
Okay.
they have yum 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 away.
Yeah. Did they go into one of the gingerbread houses, or
No, they just wandered off
just
back the way
wandered
they
off?
came.
Okay.
Headed back towards the mountains.
Back towards the Crumplet Mountain.
There's gingerbread collapsed buildings all over the place. You think you just saw some of it move.
Is it also made of maggots?
You don't see any maggots about.
Okay.
It really smells like sugar, candies. It's overwhelming.
I was gonna say, did we see what it looked like when we showed the mirror to the crumplets?
You saw the crumbles. What else are you looking at?
No, like the
Like
surrounding
the-
area. You of course see
It
the
looks.
surrounding
It's
area.
a perfect reflection of what
It
you
is
see.
So
what
is
it
it
what we
real?
see.
Absolute reflection of what you see. It's
Okay, that's the
seems to be
first
a
time.
gingerbread town.
Okay,
and it's
but
in ruins.
sometimes toothpaste looks like icing, so it could potentially be something else.
It's definitely a gingerbread town in ruins.
Okay.
But it okay.
You saw something moving that time. You, as far as a gingerbread man ducked behind one of the ruined houses. Looked like he was missing an arm.
Ah.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
So, I feel like another part of our childhood is about to die here.
I wouldn't be surprised by that. Did you see something moving too?
It's a one-armed gingerbread man.
In any other circumstance, I'd make fun of you for that comment, but I'm totally on board with you right now. So,
All of you start to notice them. They're pretty well camouflaged because of the same color of the houses. They're hiding in the rubble and behind someone. Watching you intently are gingerbread men, almost all of them missing a leg or an arm or like a bite mark out of their torso.
That means that there's something that's really big that has teeth.
hey, can I yell out to one of them?
It gets terrified looking, like tries to scurry away from you, but it's missing most of its legs, so it falls down in the frosting. It's crawling away from you, looking over its shoulder. Terror in its gumdrop looking eyes.
Like, hey, why are you so scared? Hey,
alone! Please leave us alone! No more! No more!
no more what? We didn't do anything. No more what? What's wrong?
The monsters came. They destroyed our town. They ate us. They bit my leg off.
What did these monsters look like?
They said they'd be back. They're big and round and teeth, and they bite and they bite and they bite.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
That sounds terrible.
Does it hurt?
Of course it hurts.
Okay, well, I wanted to gauge your pain
Fair.
levels.
I didn't know
Fair.
they had a nervous system.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
Can they like bake you new limbs?
You want to bake me?
No, I don't
No,
wanna
we want to
bake
help you.
I'm just curious, how do gingerbread people come to be? I think I may be too young to understand, but if you could explain it to me, that would be great.
I don't know. We were here a couple days ago, and it was perfect little.
Hashtag MetaPoint for the gumdrop button.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
We had a beautiful little gingerbread town, and it was perfect. And then they came. And they bit off our arms, and they bit us, and they ruined the town. And they laughed. They laughed at us.
They laughed at you.
Are
That
you
is
saying
so rude?
they? Like there's more than one? There's lots of them?
We're gonna come back.
Do they
Oh.
come back a lot?
I don't know. They said they were gonna come back.
How big are they?
Big, really big, like a house.
Like a house? Oh,
And
I don't like the sound of that, guys.
no, you said they were round and full of teeth?
Round teeth.
Did they say yum 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 yum?
They laughed. They just laughed at us.
They laughed at you.
And they said that they would come back. Did they leave a calling card?
Goes down his missing leg.
That's
Right
not
there!
what I meant! That's not what I meant, and you know it.
Everyone in the village.
Look, I don't want to call you out too much, but I kind of feel like you're adding to your own trauma here right now.
Wow.
We're trying to help.
Are you gonna stop him?
Well, we can certainly try.
saved everybody. They're gonna stop the monsters.
Well, I don't know. You know, that
Hey, little gingerbread boy, have you seen a guy in a top hat?
No.
No? A spider? With a man's face in a top hat? Okay.
Have you seen anyone else apart from...
The monsters.
Mm-hmm.
What's your name?
Bill. I'm Bill.
Bill.
That's Will, and that's Gil, and that's Dill, and that's Till, and that's Rill, and he keeps going on and on and on.
Okay. So
So is that Will
Phil
too?
and Phil, PH Phil.
that kind of makes it easy though. Like, you know, you can just go down the consonants or the vowels. Okay. Can we help you guys get your limbs back? Like, get some frosting and maybe glue you guys back together? That's how I used to make gingerbread houses, is with the frosting, like a cast. Just to help you, so you have your legs, so in case they come, you can run faster while we fight them.
She always this crazy?
You get used to it.
I feel like what you're possibly proposing is kind of like Frankenstein's monstering them. Possibly. You know, taking bits of their dead friends and gluing them onto each other. And I feel like maybe that would be a little bit unsettling to them.
Not gingerbread comes from somewhere.
Just slightly on the abomination against their existence level. Something like that.
So I'm guessing we really can't eat anything here in case it's family.
Why don't you get your mirror out
Oh, that's a good idea.
and show Bill or
Show
the other
Bill?
people?
We'll sit.
I'm
Here,
more
Bill,
interested
let's
about
look at
Will.
the devastation of your entire farm.
No, because
Oh, okay.
everything looked fine. You know what I mean?
I mean... Oh, I'm super vain, and I'm just gonna take a look around here.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the reflection, you don't see gingerbread men. The gingerbread houses you see, none of that changes. The frosting, but each one of these men is a child or teenager, and the limbs are like gouting blood.
Oh,
missing.
They're real
Boy.
people. They look like
They're
real people in the
people.
reflection.
In your reflections that you see in the mirror, they look like real people.
Well,
They seem to have no reaction to seeing their reflection.
I have no choice but to set up a medic's clinic. After all, I have been trained in the medicine.
I've been
You're not sure how it applies to gingerbread.
I can look in the mirror as I treat my patients.
They should all be dead.
They should all be dead. Well, then
You know
a
enough
tourniquet?
about medicine to tell that they're just fountaining blood through those limbs.
Does it come out looking like icing?
No, it's just spurting from the arteries. It's terrible looking. Like they're the sort of injuries that would kill any person in minutes, and they're hobbling
they're
around
not
on
dying.
them. But it only looks that way in the mirror. When you're not looking in the mirror, it's a gingerbread man missing an arm or missing a leg or having a bite out of its side. Turn the mirror and it's a boy or a girl with half of her sides missing and her rib cage exposed and her intestines hanging out.
Oh, good.
Okay, so I want to start helping to fortify this town, because we can't leave at this point. I mean...
We have to keep moving. Tom said to keep moving.
Yeah, but I mean...
And if these kids are as good as dead...
A faint rumbling sound.
Of course.
Oh, man.
Of course.
The gingerbread men cower, scatter, running for the cover and crawling for the cover of their collapsed homes as the rumbling grows louder and rolling over the crest of the hill. Massive Jawbreakers roll over the top, multicolored, all hues, cut almost in half, opening into huge half-circle mouths as they roll down the hill, jumping.
Jawbreaker Pac-Mans?
Oh yeah. They begin rolling down the hill, picking up speed like they're going to just slam straight into the town. You may prepare for a round before we roll initiative. So what would you like to do this round to prepare as they approach?
I'm sorry?
You have a round to prepare as they approach rolling down the hill. If you're going to do anything at all.
If I summon rain, will it dissolve everything made of sugar or just the Jawbreakers?
You're not really sure. You're not really sure what will happen if you summon rain.
I mean, I know my hair will get wet, but that is a sacrifice that I am willing to make.
Your magic's worked a little funny.
So far, my magic's been working wonders. Don't make that face at me. Don't do this to me. I disagree. I will use this. And you don't want to know how.
Now you got me curious.
Do Jawbreakers dissolve in anything? Like, you know when you put a Mentos in a Coke, is that the same thing with Jawbreakers, or is that just Mentos? I feel like, wasn't there something with Jawbreakers?
I think Pax is right. I think it's time for a loot box.
Yeah, I'm all in for that.
Do we have one?
We have two!
What? Oh man, we'll drop those bishes.
Would you like to open a loot box
Yes,
while you
please.
wait?
Yes.
All right. Just one?
No, both of them.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Both of them.
Okay.
Well, we'll have what we have.
The first box you open contains a portable 120-volt jackhammer with battery pack.
Excellent.
Perfect!
The second one contains a sealed cylinder of liquid rocket fuel.
Oh.
Rocket fuel and jackhammer. Okay.
Rocket fuel. And
Liquid rocket fuel.
Okay.
And those are your loot boxes.
Okay.
You two have used your preparing actions opening loot boxes.
I am going to shoulder the rifle. And fire an RPG at the leading Jawbreaker.
What
right.
noise is that like?
Yeah, let's hear it.
What's the boys?
Made it by 2.
A rocket flies from the wooden rifle that Bobby puts on his shoulder, streaking through the air. It hits, and thousands of shattered pieces of Jawbreaker fly into
Doc.
the air, scattering everywhere. It is disgusting. Let's roll
Icky
some
shit.
initiative and have a combat.
Icky sugar coma.
Icky sugar coma. All right.
20.
20 for Angel. Lizzie?
I actually got 24.
Nice.
Hey.
I got it.
24.
Maybe I'm gonna start playing the game, you guys.
See, my wand worked okay.
Bobby?
25.
25. All right, Bobby, start us out. You have just successfully fired your rifle as an RPG and destroyed. Completely destroyed one of them.
Targeting the next closest one in.
Good use.
Yes, made it by 9.
The second rocket fires out, and another one of them explodes into shards and pieces. Lizzie?
Are they close?
Oh yeah, they're almost in the town. It's right after Angel goes, they're going to be rolling into the town and biting.
Okay, awesome. Real quick before I do anything, I'm gonna snatch your mirror and look at the Jawbreakers.
They look like a jawbreaker, but you don't see the teeth or the eyes or the features. It's just a giant rolling jawbreaker in the mirror.
Okay, and the exploded ones look like
They're not even there.
Oh.
they're
There's
gone.
nothing.
So
Gone.
Okay.
Not even a shard.
Thank you. How many Jawbreakers are left then?
He just killed, so there are 8 of them left.
He killed 2. There was 10.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of Jawbreakers.
Gigantic
That's a lot of giant
Jawbreakers.
Jawbreakers.
That is. All right. Okay.
Do you think this was going to be easy?
No, but.
I'm just updating my visual.
Yeah. Right.
Didn't have that many in it.
Yeah, mine had 5.
Okay, they're coming down. Then, jeez. Are the gingerbread men safe?
Most of them are trying to hide in their little houses, but they don't look like they'll offer much protection when those teeth come calling.
But they don't have teeth, and that's my thing, because they're not real. They don't have teeth. The ones that are exploded are now gone. None of these things are real. Okay. Okay. Is there, nothing.
Come on, Lizzie.
Nothing.
You gotta have something.
Work on these things.
Think outside the box.
Yeah, that would be good. Okay, I'm going to. I'm gonna take a gumdrop off of one of the nearby houses or whatever, and I'm gonna take my Zippo and light it on fire, and I'm gonna use my slingshot and just shoot a flaming ball of like jelly at the Jawbreaker. So now it's gonna be a flaming, rolling Jawbreaker.
1 second.
Sugar burns.
The sugar bar just
burns.
Oh!
Achievement unlocked. Great balls of fire.
Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire.
2,000 points to Maddox McFernan.
Oh boy. There we go.
Fire away.
Okay. So, can
I didn't think anyone would do that.
can I use a meta point now, or is it
Absolutely.
too late? Okay.
You can.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I'm using that, so I'm gonna get rid of those 10s, those evil 10s. They don't work for me.
Dice be nice. Dice be nice.
I know, great. Okay, so 8 on shooting, 12. Okay, I beat it.
Excellent.
Oh, okay, I'm
Back in
back.
the game.
I'm back.
Splatters, and it spreads like napalm on this Jawbreaker.
Yeah.
And the Jawbreaker, it should be this hard candy. It should have some kind of. It melts like styrofoam exposed to gasoline.
Oh.
Crumbles in on itself immediately into almost nothing.
Oh, okay.
And all that's left where it was is the burning, goopy gumdrop.
Okay. And then I'm gonna turn and apologize to the house I took that from. I'm sorry, I needed you. I'm sorry, house.
Angel?
Right. So if I remember correctly, I still have a full-length mirror and my little hand mirror.
Correct.
So what I would like to do is I would like to set one mirror up on one side of the path of the oncoming sugar horde. And
1 second.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and do it. Anything you want to do it, want to change the world. There's nothing to it. #LOOT box ×2.
Oh,
Thank
you.
in this country, we're rolling.
So you're setting up mirror
That's
one
one
side.
longer.
one mirror on one side, one mirror on the other side. I'm going to wait for it to roll between them and then banish it through the mirror realms into the hands of an excitable 8-year-old.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Excellently done. Give me a fairy magic roll
I
there.
would love to. Okay. Okay.
Oh, get it.
Beat by 4.
Oh,
For a moment, you can see through the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
The Jawbreaker rolls up, and then it shrinks down as it goes through it, and it's inside of like a glass ball with lots of them, and it tumbles about, and you follow its journey down a little metal slot as it rolls out. And there's the most ugly and horrid-looking little boy with a multicolored hat with a little helicopter rotor on the top of it, and he eagerly grabs it and shoves it in his mouth.
yay!
And
That's
his
the end of
tongue
that one.
turns blue.
The remaining 6 roll into town.
Oh gosh.
The first 2 grab a gingerbread man each. And they kind of do a little trade-off where one gets the bottom, one gets the top.
Oh!
And right in
And
half.
Skittles
And-
fly out.
As they separate them, the gingerbread men who are torn in half are still screaming. Clearly unable to die as gingerbread men. Of the other 4, 2 of them roll through 2 of the standing houses, coming around behind your mirrors. One of them rolls to you, and one of them rolls to you, and both attempt to make bites out of you. I fail against you, Bobby, and I succeed. No, fail by 1 against Lizzie. But you know what? I think it's time to use that +7 of mine. I'm gonna succeed. So I succeed by 6.
I immediately retract.
I succeed by 6. And because I succeeded by more than 5, Lizzie, 10 damage and left or right.
Oh, take my left.
It bites Lizzie's left arm off. Fountains of blood gout from it.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn. That's awful.
You said that's only 10 damage?
Only 10 damage.
That's kind of amazing. So,
The logic of this universe sucks.
Logic.
oh gosh.
Yeah, she just got her arm bitten off.
I said my left, right?
Bobby's starting us off. Lizzie's bleeding, but doesn't look nearly as bad as she should look for just having her arm bitten off.
Yeah.
The reaction was more like touching a hot stove.
So it could be like Jim Carrey, like, ah!
Would you like to look through a mirror?
Let's go ahead and do that real quick.
Oh, you see Maddox's arm, but you don't see Lizzie's arm.
That's really upsetting. Are any of them bunched up at all?
2 of them that were enjoying tearing that gingerbread guy apart.
Cool. I'm going to go get myself a little closer to them.
Give me 2 shooting tests, Bobby.
Made it by 2.
Yes, AK
Dead on.
it is.
Dead on.
Dead on, and beat it by 2. And Jawbreakers can't defend. It's one of their things. So 2 of them become melted piles of slag, and as they melt down, it's just melted frosting. There's no Jawbreaker there anymore. Suspiciously, though, the bits of gingerbread man that were in their mouth, both those are there, including the still half-screaming gingerbread man.
Yeah.
Clearly, in absolute agony. Or is he?
Or is he?
I'm
Lizzie.
going to venture. Yes.
Yes.
Lizzie, just having your arm bitten off, you're not in a lot of pain.
No, but I'm in shock.
Oh yeah,
But I'm also pissed. So where's that Jawbreaker that took my arm?
looming over you.
Looming over me. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is grab another gumdrop, and I'm gonna hold the slingshot in between my toes, and I'm gonna light it on fire, throw it right into his face, and then I'm gonna get my arm once it shrivels into the little flaming ball. Because it's gotta
Give me
be
a
still
shooting
in there.
test.
If the gingerbread are still in there, then my arm's still in there.
Mm-hmm.
I jumped down one mouth last season. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, 4 on Shooting, 12. I killed it.
Very well done. You fire straight into its mouth. And as it flames, it kind of just dissipates into that nothingness, and your flopping arm is down there, and it's like when you make a fist, your arm's still making a fist down there.
Yes.
When you brisk moves, your arm is still moving down there, even though it is not attached to your body.
Great. So, and the little like melting gumdrop or melting jawbreaker is like kind of
burning down into the frost.
So, real quick before I'm done, I'm gonna take my arm and slap it. Say, don't disrespect Lizzie like that again. If I can still do that, I'm gonna take my arm and slap the jawbreaker.
Or, sorry, not to be insensitive.
And then I'm gonna take my arm and put it in the satchel with the marbles and the Yoda and the quill, and I'm gonna cross that bridge later. But I'll figure out how to put it back.
She rather nonchalantly removes her arm and puts it in the satchel on her side. That might very well be the toughest woman you have ever seen in your entire life, Bobby.
How many are left?
There are 3 remaining.
Thank gosh.
The 2 of them who are having a wonderful time destroying the houses have not noticed that their compatriots have been consumed and are rolling through more of the houses. There's almost no standing gingerbread houses left. And the one they crush is almost a half dozen of the little gingerbread men who are like missing most of their legs, who are hiding within. With nowhere to run, it's a free-for-all, and there's shredded limbs and bits of gingerbread head flying everywhere. A still blinking gingerbread eyeball lands at your feet. Bobby.
I don't like them. Of the 3 that are left, are any of them proved up at all?
No, but one of them is the one that's been trying to eat Angel. Is the closest one to eat.
Okay.
Wait, when did that happen? I wasn't paying attention. I was too
Uh-huh.
interested in the arm.
You weren't paying attention.
Go ahead and bite me.
Missed ya, I guess.
Did you?
All right. Lock and load once again.
Is that not the best toy of all time?
It's the best toy of all time. Made it by 4.
Excellent. You melt down another one of the giant Jawbreakers, leaving only the 2 house-destroying gingerbread man-eating pair left. Lizzie?
It's my turn again?
You skipped me.
I did. I skipped you last time. I'm sorry. Angel, I'm so sorry.
Rude.
Yes. Pause that, Lizzie.
Yes.
Angel.
Yes.
Thank you. There are 2 left?
2 left. Having a good time with that house full of gingerbread men.
So we have this rocket fuel, and if I could borrow your lighter, I feel like, is my thought.
It's just fuel. It's in a container. Wouldn't that just
You
explode immediately?
Stuff a rag into the end of it, Molotov rocket fuel this.
I'm a
bitch.
big fan of the gumdrops. You could make it a gusher.
Oh.
Like insert the fuel into the middle of the gumdrop
Yeah,
and
I
make
love
an
that.
exploding gusher.
Oh my gosh!
Like
let's
a
do
gusher
that.
grenade. It's a gusher
grenade.
Yeah.
We're gonna make some gusher grenades.
Brought to you by Snack Time in 1997.
Ding, ding, ding.
I don't even know what a gusher is.
What? The liquid.
Angel doesn't know what a gusher is.
I'll explain it to you later.
You stuff the rocket fuel
Is it
inside
like
of a
Jelly
gumdrop.
Donuts?
Yeah.
Ignite said gumdrop and hurl it at your enemies.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, seeing as you're going to have to use magic to fire, to make it catch on fire, I want you to use very, very magic for your throw.
I would be so pleased to do that because I realize I have nothing that suggests I can throw anything.
There is no way that I just decided that because of that. No way at all.
It matches.
That is enough. The gumdrop hits and starts to burn and melt, and it's nothing really fantastic. But somehow a container of rocket fuel is punctured, and the detonation is incredibly spectacular. Unfortunately, it was right where, the ruined home where they were eating those gingerbread men. Those gingerbread men are tiny little flecks of gingerbread. Only they're actually burnt. The frosting gets burnt there. Everything is charred there. The Jawbreakers are gone, and there is a burnt circle where the detonation was that just looks like burnt wood. Looks like burnt plywood. And the Jawbreakers are dead. Very few of the Gingerbread men survived the conflict.
Mir examine the
wood,
wood?
pile.
It's burnt wood, burnt plywood.
Okay, what's underneath?
It's like solid. You'd have to do something.
Awesome.
If
I
only
got
we
a
had a
jackhammer.
jackhammer.
You fire up the
No,
jackhammer.
I can't. Can you?
Yep. You can't.
No, I give you the jackhammer.
I'd be happy to lend a hand.
There.
It's still dramatically.
Too soon!
It's dramatically just like spurting blood, and it should be killing her.
No, I'm gonna leave it to. It seems
I would just like to say that I have been trained in the medicine and nobody wants to let me use it. So can I please frosting and medicine your arm back to your shoulder?
Again, your medicine tells you she should be very dead. With that
Yes,
much
I
arterial
understand
blood loss.
that, but I'm saying combo
But every time
medicine,
she's
fairy
talking to her, when
magic.
she's doing the hand motions, her hand in the bag.
Yes,
she's
that's
doing
why
the
I'm
motion
thinking
too.
maybe I can do something still. It's still got life.
Well, I also think it might be kind of handy with it detached for a little while.
Fine.
I
Nobody
love
wants
where your
the
head's
medicine.
No, I'll get the medicine eventually. I just want to, like maybe this can. I don't know. I'm starting to not believe. And look at this. You just put rocket fuel on this person's house. The mirror said it was gingerbread. Now, obviously, I don't know what's different about the rocket fuel in that explosion, but now this is wood. Okay? None of this is real. None of this is real. I didn't lose my arm. I didn't.
Her arm certainly appears to be missing.
Yeah, but it's missing none of the fun. Hello.
Jackhammer.
Fire up the jackhammer. You fire it up. It starts punching into the wood. A shadow falls across all of it.
Oh no.
Leaning over from atop the table.
No.
Seemingly hundreds and hundreds of feet high. A giant hand reaches down with a couple of fingers and plucks the little jackhammer from Bobby's hands. That's about enough out of you! And tosses it. Then he disappears.
At least he didn't throw Bobby.
Yes, as
So-
these things go,
There's a small
that is the
hole
bright
that
side.
you were able to punch through before.
Oh, thank goodness.
Just barely. The tiniest bit. You can get down and press your face to and gray down, but like a distance and then gray. Like you're on top of the plywood. In the air or something. It's a strange thing.
I've got a whole bag of marbles. I'd like to take one of them and drop it in the hole and see.
It falls. And it gets so small you can't even see it. And then you hear this like click, and then it's really big. And comparatively, like it got tiny, and then it just rolls out of sight. Down off the gray. Below.
Which direction did it roll?
Kind of
Like towards
the
the
tower.
entrance or towards
Kind
the
of towards that tower.
Past
Just
the-
slightly.
I think he wants us to go to the tower, guys.
Okay.
Well, we got to keep moving.
Yeah, no, we have to keep moving.
Do we give a parting speech to the two ginger people that are left?
They've collected the bits of their friends. None of them actually seem to be dead, no matter how many pieces they were put into, except for the poor bastards that got stuck in that rocket fuel explosion. They're toast.
But
No,
I'm
they're
bummed.
cookies.
They were cookies. I'm not sure what they are anymore.
Crumbs.
Charcoal.
Okay.
There's but a single path leaving the town, made of hardened peppermint candy set like cobblestones. thick, gooey frosting lines the path, and as far as you can see in all directions.
So we don't have a jackhammer and we don't have rocket fuel anymore.
You still have 2 loot boxes if you need them.
Okay.
Should the time come.
Okay, well let's get going.
To the
It's not
tower.
looking too well.
What?
What's not looking too
It's not looking too well as you start your journey.
I tried with the medicine.
Every step away from the gingerbread town, she gets a little more pale.
The
Staggers.
medicine. The medicine.
Okay, I'm feeling a little... I'm starting to regret my decision of keeping my zombie arm off. I am requiring
The arm in the bag isn't moving anymore.
a medical
Let's walk
assistance.
slightly back into the gingerbread town.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Much better. You feel a lot
Okay.
better as soon as you get back
Right.
towards the town. The arm
Nurse.
starts moving again.
Okay, so I still am gonna stand by the fact that I had a good idea of keeping my arm detached and
Yes, it
therefore
was
of
excellent. I think it is time for us to the medicine.
Okay, fine.
Nurse, go collect me some candy floss and also some icing. Stat.
Yes, doctor. I'm gonna try and see what I can find throughout the remnants of the gingerbread town.
You collect some candy floss and some frosting.
I am also going to make a needle out of a candy cane in that way that we all know.
They are really sharp and hurt. Ugh.
Do we have any, like...
Pocket knife?
I've got a switchblade.
I'm making a needle, guys. Okay, you're right. I'll
It's
carve
going
it
to them
down.
scary knives.
I don't know.
It's going to them scary knives that some of them older boys carry. The ones that get into trouble all the time.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'm going to.
Well, that explains a
I'm
few
going
things.
to sterilize my, sort of sterilize because it's made of sugar. My candy cane. Thread it with the candy floss. I'm gonna dab some icing on the wound because that's how these things work. I'm gonna stick the arm on and I'm gonna sew it around. I have excellent embroidery.
We don't have any wood or anything, but I've got some gum if you want to chew on something.
Yes, please.
You finish the stitch all the way around. As you tie off the last little bit, you see the first part of it is gone. The stitch is just not even there anymore. It's just flesh and flesh.
I am really good at this.
Everything works.
Okay.
Doesn't even hurt.
Tis a flesh wound.
Could we have done that for the ginger
But-
people?
You've got the strong, like, candy cane taste in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It'll wear off after a few days. No operating any heavy machinery. Probably should stay away from the drink.
So no cocoa for you, young lady.
Nope.
Oh, Bob.
Whatever. I've had beer before. I stole some from my last house. In the garage.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Lovely. Lovely.
In case you find that being more real is more effective against nightmare creatures. Hashtag MetaPoint.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you,
Thank you
Chad.
very, very much.
I found that
Ugh,
that did work
no.
well last time.
Excellent. You set off down the path again.
Ugh.
Let's give it a go.
You follow the candy stone path. On the sides, this really thick frosting that occasionally drips through, and sometimes you have to step in it. And moving through it's like moving through really heavy snow. Maybe the spots are its in. Off the path is almost impassable completely. Rising before you is a massive tower, frosted, glistening, and beautiful, like a huge wedding cake. Its top is so high up you can scarcely make out any details. The path leads directly to a massive set of doors, seemingly carved directly into the frosting. They groan, creak, and slowly grind open as you approach, sending globs of frosting cascading down. Thunderous sounds echo from within, accompanied by squishing and plopping noises.
Oh, more plopping.
It's nice and
Nothing
gross. I like
good
gross
ever
sounds. I'm
flopped.
sorry.
Nothing good ever plopped. I'm just saying.
Except they wound up being our friends, little crumplets.
Well, you made them good.
Thank you. I am good at this.
Well done.
Tower before you, the doors have opened. There's squishing and plopping and a repeated banging sound coming from within.
Oh, this is a plopping noise. Is that our friends? Is that where the crumplets got to?
It's the opposite direction they went, but it
Floppy
doesn't mean
and
it's
the
not possible.
crumplets. Floppy and the crumplets.
They're opening for Josie and the Pussycats. Should be a good time.
Plop, plop, plop.
Plop, 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 ploppity plop. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm saying it works.
Imp in my hand, worse, fondant. Not buttercream. No.
Fondant.
The unedible kind, you know, that's the gross stuff.
The
just
stuff
for
that you can
sculpting.
like print on?
Yeah, great for sculpting. But this is a punishment realm, so yeah, it's not good frosting. Nobody gets any good frosting here.
Okay.
Well, kids, now what? Uh-oh.
Mine. Hashtag cool rule, hashtag meta point boosted abilities.
Damn!
Thank you,
What?
chat.
Thank you.
I believe that's boosted. Your boosted abilities from your pilot sheets are now open. That's right.
Just gonna flex a little over here.
Your boosted ability is now open.
I'm turning into one of those Jawbreakers. Get my arm. Not now. I'm just plotting.
Plotting.
I'm just plotting of all the things.
A good plot.
A good plot. And
Well, should we explore the tower?
no, but I don't see any other choice. So, off we go.
There is a rules for engagement here. We should speak with their butler.
They're not gonna have a butler.
You don't know that.
They're not gonna have a butler.
How do they maintain this if they don't have anyone who buttles?
maintain what?
This palace!
It's
tower.
not real.
You don't know that.
Oh my god.
Before we go, let me check something out.
Yeah.
I want to hold with the rifle and see if I can adjust a scope up top.
You zoom in with the scope up top. It's pretty dark in there, but it looks like there's a really large
I'm gonna use my
something
mirror
and they're
to
moving
reflect
around.
some light inside.
doing something to one of the walls inside. It's hard to tell. Again,
You said just something.
something. It's
Okay.
really big, vaguely humanoid shape, doing something to one of the walls inside, and every time it moves is when you hear that bang, bang.
I will
Bah.
use my mirror to reflect some light inside so that my friend here with the scope can see what.
You
He might
reflect
see
the
the
perfect amount of light, and there's this mounded creature, like made of frosting or something. So it's huge, and it's using like a candy cane that's massive to chisel these beautiful little like wedding cake carvings inside.
Aww.
And as the light comes in,
is an
it
artiste.
hits right in his red eyes, blinding him for a second, and he half turns his head to the frosting in front of it and roars loudly and menacingly, and you just picked a fight.
Oh, of course we did. Is now the time to
Like
open a
we do.
loot box?
No, you picked a fight.
I picked a fight.
Oh yeah,
Put light right in his eyes. That's okay. You're good at
that was
befriending him.
mean.
Might I say it was rude?
You
If
might
he
say.
had hired a butler, this would not have happened.
The mound of
And a
frosting
proper
roars
buckling.
loudly and begins striding towards you. Looks like you're gonna have to have yourselves another combat. You just couldn't get around it.
I wonder whose fault that is.
Gee, I wonder.
Why can't they be nice monsters?
He wasn't a bad one. He just doesn't like light.
Oh, well, in that
You
case,
just pissed him off. He's peed all over his cornflakes.
can we send him a gift? By way of apology with a nice card embossed, perhaps?
How aggressively is he approaching us?
Very.
Well,
I've got a pocket knife, chewing gum, and a bag of marbles. If you think the monster would like any of those things, I'm more than happy to part with them.
I got a quill. Maybe it will help him with his carving.
With the stationery, yes.
Yeah, well, we could write him a lovely little note and apologize for putting light in his eyes. Everybody likes an apology.
Okay, Missy. Apologize.
Does anybody have any paper?
The wrappers on the gum.
Fantastic, if you will.
Would you indulge me while I grab that? Would you take a little look at that thing with the mirror, just to make sure it's not, an
But of
innocent kid?
course.
Much, much smaller than the frosting. Though his strides are like he's a really big person. He's a young boy. You see in the reflection.
Maybe he would like marbles and gum. Thank you. And I will unwrap just one piece of gum and write very hastily a note that says
What
I
are you
am
writing
terribly...
with?
The quill.
The quill?
Mm-hmm. I am terribly sorry to have
As soon
interrupted
as she
your
pulls
day.
out the quill and
Please.
starts writing with it, he stops and is just staring at Angel. Staring at the quill.
Please accept our humblest apologies for the interruption of your day. We bestow unto you these tokens of our contrite esteem. Yes.
And then,
Contrition. That's what I was looking for.
then what do you do?
Well, then I, fuck it. I use a strand from my own hair to tie it to the bag of marbles with the gum inside, and I...
The whole time he never takes his eyes off the quill.
I didn't just give him the quill. He wants the quill.
Would you
And just
like a little...
Tell him the apology.
Okay. Please, oh Lord of Sugary
Don't
Mounds,
call him a lord. Just
friend, we would like to make a gift of this quill to you in contrition for our rudely entering your abode.
with our light
He
source.
reaches out with his massive frosting hands. And as he touches the quill, there's not a frosting monster in front of you. It's a small boy holding a quill, crying. And he looks at it for a moment, and then slowly just fades into light and disappears before your very eyes.
It was one of those kids.
I'm really glad
With the
that we didn't
names.
fight him.
The quill is gone.
Quill is gone. Do we need to restore their artifacts to the children to free them?
They were.
So,
Who's
remind
got
me.
the Yoda?
I have
Yeah, was the quill? It was the quill, the Yoda, and
marbles. I also got a bag of marbles.
okay. Yeah, I would keep those handy. I don't know what happened, but I have to take it that is a better outcome than screaming
We
as
killed a kid.
unending gingerbread creatures. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Just I've got
Nicely
marbles
done.
and a yoba.
Thank
Yoda.
you. I'm a little bit sad that he didn't want my other gifts, but there's no
Hang on to
accounting
the
for
marbles, and we still have gum.
taste. Okay.
Let's just go inside.
You enter. The interior of the tower here is vast, the great hall, crystal-like sugar chandeliers, adornments of colored hard candies, and a winding staircase spiraling along the wall leading up into the heights. It's about halfway carved in here with the beautiful, intricate, like wedding cake type designs. He was halfway done.
Okay, so he had a job, and now the job looks unfinished. So just want to put that out there.
But it seems that he didn't need to finish it to be rescued. So maybe the job was set upon him by an outside force that wants to complete this for a nefarious purpose as opposed to something that was a good thing for him as an individual. Maybe. Is my thought.
Yeah, I gotta suppose that that the Harvester is behind most of what's going on here and is not for any good purpose.
Shall we see what we can see from the top of the tower?
You ascend the stairs. After several times around the interior and several minutes, when the floor is far, far below, you reach the second tier of the wedding cake. A small, golden, hard, frosted door at the end of the staircase marks it. It's inlaid with chocolate designs of flowers.
I would like to knock politely on the door. I don't expect they'll have a butler, but I suppose instead of shining a bright light inside...
And as she does that, I just pull out my switchblade. I just have it right here.
Just like them older boys. She even holds it the right way. It's kind of scary. You knock. The sound echoes loudly inside of the wedding cake. Nothing.
Okay, well, we tried, so as quietly as we can, we gotta keep going.
We leave a calling card and we wait for them to get back to us. And
I
perhaps we
go
can
to the
visit
door
again.
and I open the handle and I push it open slowly.
The interior of the tower here is like a vast garden, though made of sweet candies of all types. The vibrant color is astounding, and the multitude of smells beyond belief. Your empty stomachs complain loudly. The garden is dense and tall, with all sorts of candy versions of plants, flowers, trees. There's a narrow, winding path leading through it.
Is there, like, candy on...
Everything is candy.
Right, but I'm guessing the designs are other candies and...
Yep, everything
like,
is candy, with candy upon candy and different candies upon said candies.
I feel like I want to take this switchblade and just kind of like
Prise some of the candy off.
just pry it off, just
Can
to
we
see.
look at it with a mirror first?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
always,
while you're doing it?
always.
Okay.
So,
okay.
what are the walls with the candy design? Like the chocolate, you said they were chocolate. Well, like what's on the wall next to me?
When you turn the mirror around to face them, it is a garden of
A real garden.
rotted plants
Of course.
and horrid-looking, disgusting
Why can't it
mold
just be
and
nice?
worse.
Oh gosh.
So
Maybe we don't want to touch it. If we pry something off, will that also be rotted? And like, does it have to be touching the walls to be imaginary in our world?
here's the thing: just like the boy in the quill, obviously that was a really nice encounter, but like he was set free, right? So I'm just wondering if once like one of the candies is like detached, like we kind of break it a little bit, if it either like turns to mold or like the maggots or whatever it is, or if it does nothing, like the balloons. The balloons did nothing. They were black, but they were nothing. You know?
Yes, and then
No.
something grabbed my ankle in the middle of that encounter.
Right, but the
I'm just
balloons-
saying, not
But the
everything-
balloons.
It could be
was
a
not good look.
distraction.
No.
It could be a distraction. Ah!
So do you want me to chip something off or no? We're a team. Tom said stick together and do work as a team. I'm not
Before you
gonna
chip something off, I would like to open a loot box.
Okay.
Absolutely. Skip back to my little cheat sheet of pre-done loot boxes just for you. Inside is a case containing the first hydrogen bomb made by Edward Teller.
Oh, good. Right.
Okay. That was more than I was expecting. Both in scope of horrible potential and specificity.
What? I'm gonna look at that really quickly with a mirror
Yeah.
and make sure that that's exactly what it is.
It is, Bob, you actually recognizes the names famous in the news just fairly recently for coming up with the hydrogen bomb.
Great.
It was rather disastrous towards Mr. Teller and his friends, though.
This is what's going to help us beat the Russians.
Oh,
But-
we don't like the Russians? It's such a shame what happened to their royal family, isn't it?
Yes. Anyway, they went all kinds of
And
bad.
they had such nice dresses. Sorry, go on.
Anyway, this thing is crazy dangerous.
What happens
My-
if I hit it with a wand?
Nothing good for any of us. Might be one to table entirely, to be honest.
It's also a really real thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I cannot
in his-
overemphasize.
Yeah, you even have a better grasp of the concept, and it's a defunct program. The hydrogen bomb was used for. It's highly dangerous. It's not a stable explosive, so it could be very dangerous to transport, use, and it's one step below nuclear.
Yeah, it's also real in history. It seems like the
Not
things
my
that,
history. I don't know what this thing is.
But I'm saying the things that seems to work here are the things like imagination or whatever. Like like,
So maybe it doesn't work at all.
or maybe it works too well, like the gingerbread house, and it
Kills us all.
destroys what we see and shows the truth. Do you get what I'm trying to say, guys? Or
Guys, James is stroking his beard. I just,
a beard stroke is
there's
never
a beard
trustworthy.
stroke. I'm just, pause. Beard stroke, guys. Unpause. Okay.
I don't want to use it.
Well, do we leave it here? Do you want to leave it here?
I can carry it in my basket. It's almost like none of you can trust me to carry a bomb in my basket.
Is the loot box still here that it came in?
No, it's been opened. It's gone.
Uh-oh.
Great.
Was it lead lined? Like, what was the...
No.
Oh.
Technically, AK the FAE is bigger than the H-bomb, but the H-bomb is more dangerous. More volatile. How's that?
There's another loot box. Should we open it?
I'm afraid of what's in there.
I think let's hold on to that for now.
Okay. So who's gonna? I mean, I can hold on to it. I still, man, hydrogen bombs. Like, guys, that's like, man, I got like marbles and like slingshots, like that.
Yes, I'm.
And I like weapons and stuff like
How
that,
big
but that's
is
not
it?
cool.
It's not particularly large. You know, it's like a rolling luggage case size.
Can you
So what you're telling me is...
can you conjure up a box for it to sit in? So at least while we bring it with us, it's safe.
I'm fighting myself here on this one.
Don't fight.
I don't know if my box is big enough for that. Thank you. Okay, there it was. Okay.
It's out.
It's out. It's there.
It happened. I mean, the picnic basket is magic, yes? Is it safe in there? I
It's a
don't think.
picnic basket.
Can I check and see if it's a lead-lined picnic basket?
Can you
Just a
make?
picnic
Can
basket.
you make it lead lined?
You don't know.
I don't know.
You've never
Can-
tried that.
Mirror magic contain an H-bomb?
You don't know. You've never tried it.
Can I jump off of the side of the tower, riding the H-bomb down the side, yelling yippee-ki-yay?
If that's how you want to go.
I mean, it's a tempting thought.
Fighting in the war room. Sorry.
Okay, back on track. I guess we should, I guess you better pry something off that wall and see if we need a bomb to fight it.
Okay. I'm just gonna, like one of the flowers, just take it off
cut
one
it
of the
free.
petals or
Okay,
something.
Cut
like,
a petal free. It's a candy petal.
and didn't
And it
change.
doesn't shrivel, it doesn't...
Candy petal.
What does it taste like?
10
You go
seconds
first.
later, it's still a candy petal.
And we shine a mirror on it?
Yep.
As you shine a mirror on it, it kind of just dissolves.
Okay.
But it's still a candy.
No, there's nothing.
Oh, the mirror made it disappear.
It's dissolved in your hand.
So it has to be attached. Okay. Alright. Okay.
Okay, what else is in
I'm
this
so
garden?
tense right
Just
now.
like candy flowers and bushes, and are there candy do we have chocolate squirrels?
No, there are no animal life of any kind. It's all just garden stuff of various kinds. All designed with candy to look like the real thing, but very clearly made of candy.
Oh, flowers and bushes and
Like candy rose bushes, even like
No
candy
insects.
strawberry plants with candy strawberries on them. Like every aspect of it is candy.
and there's no sour gummy worms?
You don't see any sour gummy worms.
That's disappointing.
I mean, maybe if we dig a little in the garden?
Switchblades going into the dirt.
You aren't seriously considering
dirt is,
eating any of this.
Those are my favorite.
The dirt's like cocoa powder, but sifting through it. Oh yeah, there's gummy worms in it, crawling around.
Okay.
Slithering around inside of it.
So they're living too. So
They're moving.
they're moving.
Moving might be a strong word.
Yeah, obviously. Why would I dare use that word? Okay, so there's worms in there. That's cool. Shall we continue?
Let's just get out of here.
Okay. We're continuing walking through the
You
garden.
follow the path through the garden.
Magic basket.
It leads through quite some distance before it opens to a small circular little courtyard in the center. In the center is the large white tree carved seemingly from white chocolate.
Tree of Gondor?
Bright red apples made of candy hang
Flame
from
lit.
its limbs. The tree stretches beyond your sight into the heights of the tower above. The limbs are really, really perfectly spaced out for tree climbing, Bobby.
I'm a climate. Oh no, sorry, that's you.
Yeah. That's how you hurt your arm years ago.
Yeah. No. If you want to climb that sounds good. You can
I
see
mean-
what you can see from up there.
I'm good with climbing, but I don't want to separate, so you need to come with us.
If we blindfold you, will that help?
No. Thank you for asking, rather than just blindfolding me.
What on earth makes you think that I would do that?
Well, I don't believe that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's nowhere else we can go.
Up a tree. Or stay here, Bobby.
Okay.
Are you gonna climb or are you gonna stay?
Yeah. Let's climb.
Give me a fear check, Bobby.
Made it by 9.
Oh,
It's not so bad. It's not so bad. You got this.
No, I mean the branches are nice and spaced out. Plenty of handholds. Let's.
Oh yeah, they're
Let's do this. This is gonna be great.
hey, you can do this.
Do you need to borrow my blanket? It makes people feel better, I promise.
Do you want to listen to some
Yes.
Iron Maiden?
Thank you. I leave that to the group.
I got headphones. It makes me feel strong.
All right, yeah, let's do this.
Okay, so
Here is my blanket.
I put on my tape deck, and I don't put the headphones on. I put them around, but I put it loud enough so we could all listen to Iron Maiden as we climb up.
it's like really loud and fast and sharp music. Music even? Or is it just noise? It's really hard to tell.
See, doesn't this make you just like, like amped? Like, we're gonna climb a tree!
Can we? Classical, do you have that option? I'm just going to revisit that thought. Perhaps eat your Rachmaninoff. I'd be okay with that. I don't, this is chaotic, and I thought that was chaotic, so,
I turn it down a little bit. Fine, I'm gonna listen to it. It pumps me up, and I feel like we're gonna have to be on our game once we get to the top of this tree. So I'm blaring some Iron Maiden to myself.
All right, pull the headphones up. Forget these guys.
Suckers.
Who's the lead climber? Who's the mid? Who's the last?
I will be lead, so
I'll be mid.
unless you want to go in front, because if you're afraid to fall, I will be there. I'll help you. But if you want to see me go first, I can do that.
That works for me.
Okay, so do you want to be in the middle, or do you want to...
Oh, yes, you should definitely be in the middle. Otherwise, you could see up my skirt if I were above you.
Okay,
Okay. Yes. Okay.
I'm first.
You hadn't thought of that, Bobby, but it's something you will remember for later when you're older.
And the day I became a man. In a nightmaric Candyland.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You guys aren't going to start kissing and stuff, are you? Oh, gross. Gross.
I lent him my blanket. I think that means very love.
Oh my gosh. You're getting all red. Oh my goch, you like her. You
So we're
like
climbing. So
her.
we're climbing. And we're climbing.
No wonder
Isn't
why
it-
I'm the one on this side by myself the whole time. How long have you guys been canoodling?
I would never canoodle with somebody of a lower station.
Lois.
And that would be me.
You two are blushing so hard. That's gross, dude. We have stuff to do.
Okay.
My arm just got torn off, and you guys have been canoodling.
Murder bread men and Jawbreakers, and we're climbing the tree. Okay. We're doing this.
At least just save it till we're like to the top or something.
The view will be so nice.
And then as I'm climbing out, just to get them straight, I'm gonna just pass a little gas so Bobby climbs just right into it. Get your head straight.
Oh.
Stop thinking about girls. We got stuff to do.
Oh.
I gotta crop dust him. On the way.
What skill did you use for that? Stealth.
Shooting!
Stealth.
Shooting.
And then I'm gonna say, it was the crumpets. Sorry.
Just not used to crumpets.
No, I'm not.
Particularly, it was the real dairy.
Clotted
The
cream.
It's a real
closest
The real non-pasteurized cream. that
I
got-
never
Yeah. Not so used to that.
That's not all I can do.
I love farts.
It actually was a 2-skill roll. It was first stealth and then shooting.
Silent
It
but
says
deadly.
my crop dusting skill out of 12.
You're pretty sure you just got crop dusted, Bobby. Worse, you're pretty sure that Angel's gonna think it was you when she climbs up.
Oh no! Oh no!
And we're sorry. I gotta stop here for a second. Collect myself. The heights. I'm
Keep
try and wait
climbing,
for, I'm
Bobby.
gonna try and
As you
wait for it
pause
to
for a
dissipate.
minute. The tree's moving.
God, why are you the first person who notices that anything's moving?
This is my gift. It is also my curse. I hate to say this, but I think the tree's moving.
Yes, it is supporting
How?
all of us. It probably has to wave.
Let's go ahead and let's double up on that climbing.
Picking up the pace, you start climbing again. Lizzie, you are in the lead. Looking up, something is making its way down the white tree.
Oh, for
No,
fuck's
I
sake!
see it
Red
now,
and
too.
coiled around it.
It's not a snake.
It's a sour gummy worm.
Well, it looks
Is it a
kind of like a
millipede?
snake, but looks like licorice.
A licorice? At
It's
least
licorice.
Is it a licorice
with
roll?
teeth.
With the teeth. Of course it has
Making
teeth.
its way down.
It always has teeth. Can we look at this with a mirror? Here, I'm going to pass the mirror up to you, and you're going to pass
You're
it.
gonna hang on one-handed off this tree way up in the air and pass the mirror to the frightened boy who's afraid of heights. You can hang on mirror right there. He's not touching it.
So just saying, I'll look down and I can see him in the reflection still. You just have to hold it out.
Okay.
So
I'm just gonna.
And I look
Sorry,
down.
can you
What's
move
the
Everything's
slightly?
shaking up here when she's holding it. Even though the tree itself, the tree, the cake, everything has a slight opaqueness to it. You can almost see through it.
What?
The tree?
The tree, the cake walls, the snake, everything. Now that you're up at this height, is just almost opaque when you're
And
really
by
looking
opaque,
at it.
do we mean translucent?
Yes, for you. The rest of you, there's no change for any of you in how the
Because
rest of this
opaque means
looks.
solid and unable to see through.
Well, it's ghostly. You
Oh,
can't see through it.
Oh no!
That just happened.
Oh no!
Admirably fast.
Yes,
Oh, that's on the
opaque because it
internet
is not
now.
quite see-through.
But kind of, it's cloudy.
It's like
So it's
super fogged up windows. So
Translucent.
borderline for you.
Yeah.
That's what you see.
Okay. And the snake is coming down. Is
The
it
licorice thing is slowly winding down.
is it like licorice or is it like Twizzler?
It's like Twizzler-looking licorice stuff. The vines.
So we can take it apart.
It looks like it's a vine.
Okay. And it's coming down and it's got
It's
teeth.
slowly
of course.
going to, yeah. The
Everything
opening,
has
the,
teeth.
the Twizzler type opening is just teeth in a circle.
Yeah, okay.
Does
You
it
guys,
like,
I see what the moving thing is.
And it's really that. It's not a kid. Tell me it's a kid.
No, he said it was.
What you
It's
saw,
not. It's
to
not
you,
a
it's
kid.
it's slightly opaque to you.
Yeah, it's not a
And when
kid.
she,
You could just.
when she takes the mirror away, everything is still slightly opaque to you. Everything.
Oh, okay.
All of it.
Translucent.
But it's not to them.
Slightly opaque.
Translucent.
And
Opaque
you
means
can
you
kinda-
can't see through
You
it
can't see through it.
at all. So
You have the feeling that you could, but you can't.
right, but she can.
It's kind of cloudy. It's kind of cloudy, see-through,
Again,
foggy.
it would be like looking into a tank of fog.
Yes.
Is it see-through? No, it's not.
But you. Okay. Okay.
Pearlescent? I'm really trying to figure out what you mean by opaque.
Okay. Well, either way, it looks like it could be gone at any second to me. Like it's leaving, kind of, maybe. So this snake is coming down.
Still coiling down.
Yeah.
It's quite a ways up.
Okay. Well, snakes, aren't the worst thing. They're not great, but they're not the worst thing.
I don't like snakes. They're creepy and they're crawly.
That's okay. That's
And they're
okay.
snakes.
I got it.
And they're snakes.
It's a snake. It's got teeth. It's not even a snake. It's a licorice. It just is slithering, and at least it's not plopping. So,
I mean,
I'm gonna stay.
long and short of
I
things,
stopped
the
climbing.
I
Those
mean
are not
like
bad.
glass that you can't see through. That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
That can't see through. But you know that it's glass and you should be able to see through it. But you can't. Does that clarify things for people?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I stopped climbing. I'm just gonna stop so it forces everyone else to stop. And is it gonna?
Which must
It's
be a
still
relief for you.
continuing.
Is it looking at me or is it just going
It
down?
doesn't seem to have eyes.
Okay.
It just seems to be a vine with a mouth.
Okay.
Coiling down and down and down.
Okay, well, I'm kind of afraid to break one of these branches off because I don't really know how much this is going to be here still. So, I'm going to wait.
Still spiraling down, getting closer.
Maybe since if it can't see
Closer.
us, then it won't know that we're here, so we just have to maneuver ourselves around it.
Exactly what I'm thinking, okay?
Okay.
So you guys just stay under me, okay? And I'm going to be going
So
around
can we
the tree.
slide out a little onto the branches so we can just keep going?
Going down the trunk,
down
right.
the trunk?
So the branches, are there really solid branches next to us?
They're fairly solid. They're solid enough to climb on. I mean, you can put both your feet on them and stand on them.
Okay, great. So you guys, This thing is coming, but don't touch it. It doesn't look like it have eyes. Just go to your nearest branch and just scoot out like a foot away from the trunk, and maybe it'll keep slithering its way down, okay? Are you good with that, Bobby?
Yeah,
What if it can smell
I'm
fear?
super behind this.
Yes, just out a little bit, just a
It's
foot.
okay, you have my blanket.
Okay? So we go out a foot?
You go out a foot onto a branch.
Yeah, just a little bit off the trunk.
All on one branch?
No,
No, because they're under me.
Spread out.
Yeah, we're still
Just making
stacked.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
making sure.
Yep.
You spread out a foot away from the tree. Keeps getting closer and closer.
I get my switchblade out.
Closer. It passes within inches of you. See? Are you moving at all?
No, absolutely not.
Keeps winding down. Give me a fear test there, Miss Angel.
I am not next in line.
Give me a
I'm
fear
the-
test,
God
Angel.
damn it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna burn a meta point. I'm gonna burn a meta point. Just to do that. Alright, let's see. I am the Queen of the Fairies, and the Queen of the Fairies knows that snakes are magical beings that can be very helpful, and I'm gonna beat it by 2.
You maintain your composure as it gets closer and closer. It slithers past Bobby, and then right by you. And then it keeps going and going and going as the back end of it slowly spirals round.
I swear to God, if its eyes are in its ass, I won't know what to do.
That snake's got ass eyes. None of us could have seen it coming.
He always sees it going.
I think ass eyes might be my favorite thing now.
Yeah, I'm disappointed I didn't think of ass eyes ahead of time. That would be a really great moment there. Ah. The tail goes past, first you, then Bobby, then Angel. Keeps going down and down, slowly coiling around. How long are you going to wait?
Just don't move. Don't say a thing. It's passing us. We're gonna wait till it's at the bottom.
You can't even see the bottom of the tree at this point.
Well, then can we see the snake?
You wait, and about a minute or so passes, and its tail disappears out of view. It's just too far down there now. You're too high up. But looking down was a bad idea. Give me another fear test, Bobby.
I will be using that +5.
Using the +5. They were going to have to talk you off your ledge.
It was sitting right on the cusp and it rolled to a 0.
You get a little vertigo for a minute, pull it together, and manage to get back over towards the main body of the tree. You're a little shaky, but still holding it together.
Hey,
Moving is good.
hey, I'm proud of you.
Thank
You guys ready?
Let's do this.
Okay, let's keep going.
You start to climb. Hand over hand over hand, higher and higher. And it continues to get more and more like less real. It's the only word you can really use to describe it. Everything around you. And the only thing that doesn't is them. They are as real every time you glance back down as they've always been. Solid. Completely there.
When I look up, what's it look like? Is it
Like it's
just-
growing dark.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Nothing good happens in the dark.
Becomes hard to see very, very quickly. Almost like a light switch was flipped off. The shadows are ominous as you climb. Your hands are tired and numb and sore and have little cuts from where the jagged chocolate is ripped into it. Your wounds are sore, maybe infected. Your stomachs are growling and empty. But above you, you think that there might just be some kind of opening that the treetop extends through. Like a hole in the tower roof that it goes through.
We're almost there, guys. You guys, okay? I think I see the end. We're almost there. Just keep going.
A horrid scratching sound starts from below, rapidly growing louder and louder. Palm-sized, ugly, malformed insect-like creatures climb the tree below, coating it, covering long hair like feelers, chitinous shells and wicked snapping jaws like appendages in front of them. They chitter and squeak loudly as they spot you.
No.
They're climbing up behind you.
No. And
No
I'm
one
the
wouldn't do
I'm
anything.
closest
Yes,
to
you
them.
are last.
Oh no. But why?
Can I have one of them fear tests, Sarah?
God damn it. Well, I didn't make it.
Angel shrieks
I lose it by 1.
in terror and clambers up the tree, pushing into you and past you, Bobby. And then into you, Angel. Both of you make a relevant roll to try and stay on the tree. Tell me how you're trying to stay on the tree.
Athletics, I'm going to try and loop the blanket around it and hold myself to it that way.
Athletics for you. Lizzie, how are you going to try and stay on the tree?
I mean, I'm very comfortable with climbing. I'll just go out on one of the other branches, like just slightly so she can go
Give
up
me
the
a
trunk.
burglary roll then.
Okay.
Second story work.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I beat it by 13.
By 13. Okay, the both of you move out of the way, and Angel scrambles up, taking the lead, and she is not slowing down.
Okay.
Fear on her face. To start climbing again, I'm going to need you to make another fear test.
I am going to burn a meta point.
Excellent. Meta point burnt.
Yes, made it by 5.
It seems the reassuring words held together, or maybe it's just the view now that Angel's past you. And you start climbing again.
With speed, post haste.
Yeah, I went there. I know. You climb, hurrying. A shadow passes overhead. Looking up in your panic climb, you see his horrid face smiling down at you. Neck impossibly long and extended into the opening above. His long arm is outstretched with wicked yellow nails reaching right for you.
I'm gonna burn some meta points here.
Do it.
Yup, I'm just gonna... Andy's not scared of bugs, and also has a lot of great things going for her.
Oh, Andy James, it is. Andy, he is reaching for you. What do you do?
Well, I put on a turn of fucking speed is what I do. Let me think. He's reaching down at
He's on top of us. He's in that little
He's
opening.
reaching through that hole. Just like his head and arm extending impossibly long through it. All dozens of feet down that tree to reach for it. It's really freakish looking.
Okay.
I mean, like a man who's that big around and 30 feet tall with 30-foot arms, except when he's standing up, he doesn't look 30 feet tall. It's very, very unsettling.
I think I'm gonna meet Mape.
Gonna use that bullet time?
I'm gonna use that bullet time.
All right, using the bullet time.
Using the bullet time.
What do you have in mind?
My thought is that I am going to climb up that tree post-haste fast as I can. I am going to grab that extending arm and rip him down with my super strength and try to fling him to the ground. That is way, way, way below us. Assuming that works, I think I have 2 more moves after that, which means I'm going to collect my friends.
All right, give me a fighting roll, please.
Off Andy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what she does not have?
Oh, no.
Got knowledge, persuasion, focus, culture, strength.
Andy did not spend a lot of time growing up learning how to fight. It has definitely been a detracting factor.
But I do have balanced cat-like Zen direction speed, though. So.
Yes, these things are all helping you in this moment, but they're not helping you fight. You're gonna have to roll against that ACV if you don't have a fighting skill to use.
What ACV? There isn't an ACV on Andy's attack. Well, you know what? I have a +7, so let's go. Okay.
Don't forget before you roll, as someone is trying to remind you.
Oh, right.
There's
We have a triple play.
So that means you add a dice to when you roll, and you get rid of the worst one, the highest one in that case. So you can roll 3 dice instead of 2, and get rid of the highest.
I mean, I'm at 8. Well, okay.
It definitely increases your chances.
Let's do it.
All right, using a triple play.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat. Okay. Yeah. No. Nope.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. But wait! There's more. No. But you know what I am gonna do is I am gonna use that +7 and beat it by 2.
Beat it by 2. You grab hold of the long, extended arm as you propel your way up and yank with all of your might.
Super strength because we unlocked, and we'll...
It's like Mr. Potato Head pulling off an arm. It just, you pluck, the arm just comes straight away. It's almost, it makes you fall off the tree because you were expecting some resistance. And there was none. Just right off, and then grabbing your friends and back up through the hole with that bullet time speed. You are now on the roof of the tower. You guys don't have no idea you got there so fast. You were climbing the tree, and now you're in Angel's arms, held up off the ground by the waist. From the tower, you can see almost all of the park in all these directions. It's vast, from the candy to the roller coasters, back to the very, very beginning in the parking lot that spreads as far as you can see. Except from here, there seems to be an edge to everything. It just ends. All the way around. And in one corner, sort of sagging down, lower than the rest, is a decrepit, old-looking manor house. Standing at the tower top, the one who calls himself Harvester is waiting. Shaking as an arm pops out of his side.
No, that's upsetting.
I think this game has gone on long enough. It's time I take those meaty little shells of yours and skin to that yummy, wispy goodness inside.
My insides are not
How
listening.
delightful. Initiative.
Oh, no. Oops. Cool. 24.
24. Angel has a 24. Bobby?
Andy has a 24. Angel
Andy,
isn't here
sorry.
right now.
Angel's not here right now. Andy has a 24. Good call.
17.
17 for little Bobby. Lizzie?
21.
21. And I have a 34.
Of course you do. Of
I
course
will be
you
going
do.
first. Reaching forward, his arm extends out, and less arm-like and more just like black material, sharpened at the end. Goes straight forward, tearing right into Angel Andy at the shoulder.
Might as well hashtag Andy Buff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ripping through the shoulder and spraying blood out the back as Angel lets out a horrible scream. And then with just the flick of his wrist, up into the air, she flies. End over end. And for a brief instant, you swear you see a flash of light and that. And then it's gone. And then there's no Angel. She's just gone. There's no harvester. You're just standing on this tower top, looking at the table. First, you're falling. Cold air rushing by you. Looking up, you don't see the darkness anymore, but what looks like the rafters of a garage or a shed or a shop. A hanging light bulb dimly glowing, and then bright white light. For a moment, you thought you saw Tom's shirt. Looking down, you see Angel next to you, holding your hand. She looks up at you. My name is Angela Hamilton, but my friends call me Angel. What's your name?
Andy James?
As you answer, she's seemingly pulled away from you, and a vague vision passes your eyes of Angel asleep in a garden somewhere on a blanket as a tea set spread out before her. She's dreaming of her gallant Sir Edward. And then darkness, a hard floor. It's dank and pitch black, with a slow, steady scraping in the dark. You're in your own body. Your mouth is bone dry. Your stomach growls. Feeling in the dark for your cell phone, you find it, only to find the battery dead. Click of a flashlight sounds as scraping stops. You're in the cave in Africa. Sitting nearby is that creepy British guy, Cole. A whetstone and a cruel knife in his lap. A flashlight in his hand.
Oh no.
Hello, love.
Oh no.
And that's all we have for tonight for Project Metaverse. See you all in the finale next week. Love you, good night.